Wait. What? What is it that you say?
Not really. She's more of a historian.
Sure.
Storyteller, tell us a story. What happened last time?
Welcome. Well, last time, you wrapped up your discussion with your rabbit. Let's call them friends? Question mark.
They were hair and gone.
They were
hair and gone. Exactly.
They were there.
Do we have a receding hairline?
Exactly. Oh no. Yeah, so you had, from the point of that encounter, you had headed east and north to investigate the well, which you discovered was acting kind of like a geyser, sort of just spewing muck and filth out. There you met a will of the wisp. And you had headed off for what you had thought from a distance was a village. However, when you got there, in fact, what you found was a lone, oddly shaped building. Sort of here, let me reshare this image with you. A sort of, classical medieval inn, but sitting up above as if its basement was its ground floor. As you approach it and you look at it, the door opens and a staircase extends. Smells of delicious stew waft from the open door.
Any?
Yeah,
no, keep going. Keep going. What can I hear?
You can hear music and conversation coming from within.
Hi, a drinking place. Let's go get some drinks. Dry our feet.
Maybe a place that's not completely crawling with bandits and baddies.
Absolutely. Just be wary. Don't eat anything.
Right.
Very food.
All right, so you will head into the inn, I assume? Head in, as it were?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll head into the end.
Enter the threshold of the...
All right.
As cooks, I assume we don't need to eat any of the food that's in here. We can eat our own food. I say as we're sort of like entering this place. I still don't exactly trust the whole like fairy food thing. I don't want to be trapped here.
I see. That's fair. Fairy, anyway.
That's fairy.
Honestly, I'm fine just surviving off my stash of treats while we're in here.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is we can welcome their hospitality, but I think maybe we should stay off their food. Anything that's been prepared, that hasn't been prepared like directly in front of us. If we see like a mass table full of shit, don't eat anything.
Sure. Okay, well, you find yourself in a... Actually, why don't you all roll insight for me?
It disappeared for me.
The map did?
Yeah.
It'll either be called Inn at the End of the Road or A Strange Inn, depending on whether or not I identified it before I shared it with you.
God damn it. Why I gotta roll low?
That's the dice.
Yep.
That's like literally one of the mysteries.
Indeed.
I can't answer that question, philosopher.
Okay.
I think you're probably too busy playing, your doodly doing, and you're a little more focused on that because you really want to make a good impression.
It's the first bar you've seen in like this entire place.
So, the first thing that you notice as you step through the door I guess Shori isn't paying that close attention, but for everybody else,
He's in the back.
the building is significantly larger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Holy shit, guys. We need to introduce the word TARDIS.
Wait, are you guys saying? And I look around.
This is a time in relative dimensions and space.
Or it could just be some illusionary fairy magic stuff, you know. So long as it doesn't hurt us, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it otherwise seems to be a perfectly ordinary medieval structure. Doors line the hallway, you presume to bedrooms, and there is a door at the back of the hall that leads towards the sound of music and the smell of good, yummy food.
I stride forth and I burst open the door with vigor.
All right, I just kind of think to myself, well, if this is a mimic, then he's opening the mouth right now.
And that is a big mimic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This falls in
The DOP crew has arrived.
oh no. Okay.
Okay. So
What
is there
was that
anything
one?
else? Is there anything really in this room at all? Was it just kind of?
It's a hallway. It's a wide hallway, but it's basically just a hallway. There are some doors. And actually, since I randomly generated the map, there are some doors that are actually even missing. Thank you, AI. But yeah, it's just a hall. It's just a hallway.
There's a table in front of this door. Maybe that's
Do any of the other doors have fun or tasty smells and sounds?
Just the door at the end of the hall. The rest of the doors in the hall you think lead to bedrooms.
Ah. Well, let's go follow the YOLO.
Okay. YOLO, you burst open the door to a wide, grand tavern. There's a bar in the corner. I hope there's light in there. Oh, there is. Excellent. Okay. There's a bar in the corner. Most of the tables are empty. There are a few tables occupied by various, well, I guess in the world that you had just been in, you would have called them beast folk. There are some herringons. There are a couple of goblins, but no humans, no elves. The one exception is the innkeeper behind the bar, who seems to be a elderly old woman.
fantastic.
I didn't bother to throw NPC tokens down, but I can if you need me to.
No,
right.
It only matters again if they're gonna be a problem for us in some way.
Right, here, I'll put the innkeeper down just to be fair. Yeah, nobody in the building looks like a bandit. Nobody in the building really looks kind of special in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you would be like, "Oh, I see that they did a casting call for medieval extras." You know.
Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
It does seem to be a warm, comfortable place.
Oh, let's close the doors behind us here then and head on up to the barkeeper.
Until we burst in just now and shouted.
Yeah, everybody gives you a look. Nobody really says anything. The music doesn't stop. By the way, there's no band.
Oh, is there like floating instruments or
That's magic music.
Yeah, you would guess that it is somebody using like minor illusion to create the
Audible
sound of
glamour.
music. Yeah, exactly.
prestidigitation?
I think that performance role then is to the music. I'll be all like, the DOP crew, known as Dope,
Nice.
delivery and protection at your service. Please pay us only
I
as
love
much
it.
mind as you want. And then I go over to the bar.
The invisible crier, right? The invisible herald.
Right.
Quiet now, Harold. Quiet.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Yeah, the woman behind the counter. I said she was elderly, but just to be clear, I don't mean like in her 80s or anything. She's probably in her like mid 60s.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Still a fox in her own right.
Sure.
That's a good answer. I'm just thinking 60s is less than 20 years from now, so back up off that.
Well, that was kind of my
Shit.
point. My point was like, my point is not, not Granny B.
I ain't 12 years from elderly, I'll have you know.
Yeah, sure.
But you also don't live in a medieval fairy realm, for what it's worth.
Are you sure?
No. Well, yeah, it's
around
not
the
medieval.
East Village.
It's not medieval.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, parts of it.
Yeah, Baroque, maybe.
No, that's oh yeah, Baroque.
That's the tower. The tower is Baroque, but the medieval piece is just a block and a half over, right over there on the Imperial.
Right. Yeah. So she's wearing pretty simple, a pretty simple, obviously homespun dress. Over the dress, she wears a red apron. In her hair, also red, graying at the temples, is a garland of some kind of vine, no flowers. She looks up at you and she says, "Welcome, welcome."
Welcomed indeed. Thank you. I have a proposition for thee. I note here by my side 2 fine cooks, and they would cook for you if only you would promise us drink, maybe potential lodging.
Hey now. We don't she looks like she's a perfectly good cook. Also, we don't know if there's a guy in the back cooking. Don't be rude like that. Come on now.
No,
This
not.
dude isn't just a cook. He's
This
like
is
a
just a
mage
proposition.
of the cookery realm or something.
No, this is just a proposition. This is like, don't you cooks like learn from each other? Like there could be a person back there and you two could like, 3 could exchange each other's arts and the ways that you do and so on and so forth. Like
This guy's not just a chef, though. I mean, Faraday. This guy's like a mage of
He's like
cookery.
a wizard.
He is a wizard in the kitchen. And I don't mean like, that guy's a wizard in the kitchen. I mean, he's literally a wizard in the kitchen.
But also, he's like a wizard in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, right?
you see, man,
Face pumping so hard. Okay.
they're just selling themselves now.
To be perfectly honest, though,
But the only thing I need to promise is I'm new to these fairy realms, and I need to be assured that any booze you give us won't keep us here.
He smiles and she says, I'm not a fairy lad.
You live in the fairy realms, don't you, though?
Just because someone lives somewhere doesn't mean they're from here. There's an entire concept you're missing here.
Wait, no. Now you're implying that you can't be trans-fairy.
Wow, that's true. You can be.
Yeah. I turn over to Watts.
No, but she smiles and she says, "No, I'm not from around here. My food is good. I swear no harm will come to you."
are you by any chance a friend of Mr. Weatherlight?
She cocks her head for a second and she says, "I don't know that I'd call myself a friend of Mr. Weatherlight, but we've met. Our institutions have crossed paths before."
Okay.
What is Mr.
I apologize. I must have
Weatherlight?
missed your name.
Oh, yeah, no, good point. Wow. I catch myself. Oh.
YOLO, my friend, you are always the exuberant one. Hello, I am Watson. Yours?
She does a quick curtsy and she says, "You can call me Sue. Sue Harabax is my name."
Pleasure. Nice to meet you, Sue.
Hairbags.
And there's a glottal stop in that Sue. It's not SUE. You can tell it's Sue, not Sue.
Right, maybe SIU.
Like TSU, maybe.
Oh, it's 2.
Yeah, the T's kind of silent, but not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like sub-vocalized, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah, the girl name too.
Like tsunami.
Right.
why do people do this? Why? Sorry, randomly surf going through the world, and Philly cheesesteak burrito, and the burrito wrapping is a pepperoni pizza.
That's me.
Well, I mean,
That's
some people
weird.
want 4,000 calories at their dinner time.
My stomach hurts.
Do you want to? How do you even taste all of that? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you don't taste any of that. That's
Like at
performative.
some point, that's just slop, right?
It's just performative eating.
Sorry, didn't mean to just derail, but I just got completely sideswiped by that.
Yeah. I understand.
Well,
Yeah.
Sue.
So Sue looks back at you, and she says, "Well, I'm happy to make a trade if that's what you want. We are nothing but, if not, adherence to the code."
Well,
Oh,
hopefully it's not the sort of trade involving stealing our memories or something. We've already had to deal with people trying to make that sort of deal. I don't think they're making that deal anytime soon.
She nods and she says, yeah, you'll not find their kind here."
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely
but if
lovely. So
Did
you, I should probably introduce myself as faerly. Yes, small.
She
But-
bows.
I'm not always small. It's not a long story, but just might not come up. I want to ask then, are you perhaps more aligned with the maybe adherence is the wrong word. People who enjoy Zybilna.
She smiles when she says that, or when you say that. I mean, rather, she smiles and she says, "Well, it's Lady Zybilna that brought me here, gave me this fine inn."
Oh, well then, I suppose that answers that. Well, we need to help her because this realm does not belong to evil witches.
Don't name them, please. Yeah,
I'm not
those.
going to
Yeah.
name them. You know who I'm talking about.
She says, "I do."
we're here to cause a ruckus.
We this
You've been
is-
here for a while, yeah?
Yeah.
Sue,
She
you've
nods.
been here for.
Yeah, she nods.
Wells, have they always done that? Because they look like they were safe havens and good drinking water, and well, that's not what's going on right now, and that bothers me.
Yeah, she spits to the side and makes a sign to ward off evil, placing her thumb between her fingers, forming a fist. She says, "I." A bit of a travesty, isn't it?
Quite.
Bloody unholy! Who would do that to good water? I'm sorry. I love cooking. I love sharing my home and hearth, but come on, that's. Sorry.
She looks at you, one eyebrow cocked, and she says, "Well, if you're setting out to help the lady, then I think you already know who's responsible for the wells."
Yes, and again, we don't need to say their name.
I didn't know if it was them or someone else. There is Heather, Yether, and Jan. I didn't know if one of the others had come over to here and did that and went elsewhere.
You know, I used to be sad that I didn't bring any weed with me, when I got hit by that truck, but now it seems irrelevant.
But to be more specific, we came here in order to help reunite the connection between a patron of Zybilna's and herself, because she hasn't been able to reestablish a means back to here and hither. And then we found out that Lady Zavilna is not exactly where she ought to be in order to
Why are you shrieking?
make that connection. I don't know, because he's messing with his token.
I did not shrink. I
Like
just moved.
three of you did. It was
Yeah,
weird.
no, I did not shrink. I just moved over here by the bar, so I wasn't standing behind everyone else.
Now YOLO shrank too. What's going on? That's fucking bizarre.
I blame you.
Always shrinking me. I don't know. I'm not doing that.
My hands are literally not anywhere near the keyboard or mouse. I'm holding a PAX.
Neither are mine.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And now
What's happening now?
Somebody's doing
Yep.
it.
Yeah, somebody is scaling the tokens. I'm just surprised. It's funny. I've never seen somebody else do it. So.
I even know how they're doing it. It's not me.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
I promise it's not.
Anyway, where were we? My bad.
You got derailed a little bit.
I
mentioned
I wasn't hiding.
I didn't know if it was someone from Heather, Thither, or Yon that did it.
Yeah, you mentioned
Oh, right.
And then I explained in more detail why exactly we want to help the Lady Zabilna. Not exactly assuming that all Zabilnan acolytes might know each other, but she mentioned that Zabilna brought her here, and maybe she knows who Kettle's Steam is. So, yeah, if I mention to one person who's good in with Zabilna, maybe they will help us because we are helping,
Right, like your coworkers. Yeah,
exactly. I'm
right.
helping
No, I
their
get you.
coworker. Yeah.
Yeah. To you, Watts. She says, "Well, if you go hither and yon, you'll find them equally afflicted. Each is the dominion of one of the hags of the coven, of course."
Oh, the plague upon the land.
Great. The entire fairy kingdom.
Well, once we take one of them down, it should be easy to take the other two down.
You'd think.
Well, I mean,
depending on the coven pact,
isn't it?
not necessarily.
No, I'm just saying it's the story. We got hit by a tornado, or in our case, a truck, and then here we are to defeat the evil witches. Like I've read this one. I've been here.
Yeah,
The only thing missing are my fucking red shoes. We got ruby shoes.
This is worse. This is actually worse because we only got here after the whole
Going
demon
through a
thing.
looking mirror.
Yeah.
Also, Jory, you're going in circles, bro.
Bro, I read that one too. You want me to recite Jabberwocky? I can do it.
No, we need to kill.
We're not fighting that monster right now, though. We're doing the witches.
Yes.
Anyway,
I'm just saying,
like if there's anything you can tell us to help us, any information on them or known weaknesses among the lore, anything that would help, because maps of the castle or the surrounding area or something. We're new to the area.
Ma'am, is there beer?
Oh yeah, he probably needs a beer.
Yeah, I just kind of
the tit for the tat.
We're all just standing around her bar, asking her weird questions about like legends and lore and history and stuff. So I kind of just like,
Jory, do you have tit for tat?
Well, no, I know. I have coin. I'm sure.
But
yes,
but she may not take coin for the drink. She may ask for something else.
That's fine. Whatever. I just like a beer. Is there beer, ma'am?
She smiles and she says, "Well, actually, it's mead here."
Oh, better. All right, that's great. I would like one. While these people continue to just regale you with questions, this looks like an inn. May I have one of the house? You said mead, ma'am?
She smiles. She reaches under the bar and she produces a horn with bronze caps. the tip of the horn actually has a clever attachment on it that you realize will allow you to place the horn down without it tipping over. It's almost like a little kick out leg.
Oh shit! Very nice. Very nice.
Yep. And she hands it to you, and you realize it is already full of mead. And she says, "Well, for anybody willing to fix the problems we have here, it's on the house."
Okay, look, I'm not sure we're 100% willing. I'm probably down, unless you're like,
He's
and
gonna follow
that's where the demon lord comes in. You know, I mean, look, if we can do it, we can. If not, is there a coin cost? If there's a coin cost, I'll give it to you.
Oh God, yes, I will do that.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, what is the little star token thing you do
I
again?
blew that one.
Well, that is inspiration. If you want to use your inspiration, you can re-roll that.
That's not me, though.
You currently are not inspired.
That's what I was going to say. No, that's not me. And I rolled the basically butt.
I'm rolling again.
You know what? I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah, I've held on.
Seems like Phelan nailed that.
I've held on.
Phelan absolutely nailed that.
18's a nice. Yeah. Oh shit, dude. YOLO got it.
Nice. Good use of the inspiration.
Yeah, I held on to it for way too long.
Well done, Watts.
Like, and I'll never.
Okay, how do I remove the notation of?
It's on your character sheet. It's the one that says like INSP or INSP, I think is what it says.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir.
It's just I'll never get it again unless I don't use it.
Look, I'm finna drink.
That is also true.
Are you guys going to step in and say no?
Well, let me, for everybody that passed their roll, let me tell you a couple of different things. One, you have not seen any evidence of bees or even flowers anywhere in hither. So you wonder where the honey for the mead comes from. Two, especially you'll have noticed it if you've been listening to the Sirenscape session, there's a weird like thudding noise every few seconds.
Yeah.
How do I connect to that? I still didn't figure that out.
How am I missing the Sirenscape session?
It was linked at the very beginning when you signed in.
Yeah,
if you'll scroll up.
Here, I can generate a link again. It's no big deal.
Right. It's also kind of been quiet until I turned it all the way up.
Yeah, you have to set the volume for yourself. It's not controllable on my end. Like I can set of your max volume how much of it I use for it, but I can't actually set the volume.
Oh no, I'm telling you, I had to set it all the way up, and it's still hard to hear. Like it's at 100.
I have a question, Sue. Do you have your own beehive up in the attic?
That's not playing.
No, she laughs. It's pretty quiet right now. Right now, it's just the truds and the voices in the inn.
Yeah, I don't even.
Not hearing anything.
Interesting.
I agree. I don't hear anything. It's very quiet. I feel like I want to turn it up. I'm actually looking for my instruction or my controls so I can turn it up.
It's in the center of the screen. It's just a big volume button.
No. Oh, yeah, but that's turned all the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
If it has stopped working.
Yes.
You don't suppose they broke your bot?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I do hear it on my side. I just stopped it and restarted it. Try turning up the global volume. You guys don't hear anything?
Nope.
I'm at 100.
Hold on. Let me go to the settings then and stop it and restart it. Like the server itself, rather than just the sounds.
Okay. Those are my shorts that you just threw off my bed. Scale me with your lore, NPC.
Well, I asked a question and I'm waiting for an answer.
So did I. And then a man asked for beer.
Actually, I asked my question after the mead.
Oh. Oh, yeah. No, about the beehive. The beehoove. About the
Beehoove.
raising above colony insects.
Click to activate the web audio context. I wonder what that's about.
You must click to activate the web audio. That's
All right, well, it's running again. If that doesn't work, I would say just don't worry about it. All right. Yeah, so what was the question
shit.
again?
Y'all didn't even
Just
hear me
about-
because I wasn't pressing the right button.
You put yourself on push to talk?
Of course I did. It's because I had to wear headphones and put on the push to talk. I was prophylactic.
We
man.
already had a conversation about how that wasn't necessary to do both.
Prophylaxis, dude. Once you're wearing a rubber, you might as well use a spermicidal ointment.
what?
What?
And
What?
what?
Wow.
The question, please.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Beehive.
Yeah. Oh, no, she laughs. She says, no. No, there's no beehive here.
Do you import your mead then?
She says, no, we brew it here. The honey, though, we definitely do import.
Oh, okay.
I want to take a big
Is
sniff.
that from?
She gave me a honey mead, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to smell it.
It smells very sweet. You're going to guess it's not particularly alcoholic.
Doesn't smell right.
Dude,
I've had honey
Yon or
mead before. Does it smell like honey mead, though?
Yeah, it's mead.
It's just weak mead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Yolo. It is not in any way dry mead. It is. You would guess that in colder weather, it might even be syrupy.
Oh, shit. I actually prefer drier mead, but, I mean, okay. I might drink it anyway. It doesn't smell bad. It smells sweet, right? It smells like,
Yeah.
amateur weeds. It's Chaucer. You got some fucking Chaucer mead.
Right. Yeah, you get it. Exactly.
I refrain from being rude in front of the person.
I mean, come on, Verde. You and I have bought Chaucer when there was nothing else to buy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Chaucer is still the bottom.
Shit, yeah.
My mead, I think, is
Trash
better than
mead, yes.
Chaucer.
Is there apple juice?
No. My mead, I think, is better than Chaucer.
Your mead is way better than Chaucer because I'm pretty sure Chaucer is fucking. I'm pretty sure it's apple
Yeah, right. Totally.
with a touch of honey, but I could be wrong. It could just be like the shittiest honey mead there is. But yes, okay. I'm just making sure I understand where we sit here. And yeah, Chaucer mead Guinevere, it's okay. I can probably pound an entire fucking bottle in like a half hour.
Not
No
a
worries.
sponsor.
And you wouldn't even get a buzz.
No,
Yeah,
it's
right.
Kool-Aid. It's the Kool-Aid of meat.
Right.
It's the no. Let me be clear. It's the fucking Strawberry Hill.
Also not a
Okay,
sponsor.
no,
Also
none
not
of
a
these are
sponsor.
sponsors. Any product we mention is not a sponsor. There are no
Dude,
sponsors on
Boone's
this
Farms,
channel.
Boone's Farms want to sponsor the Dope Crew. I might think about that.
Scary. All right. Yeah, he says no. The honey is important.
Like way more important.
I'm following this conversation, right?
Is
She
it?
nods. You're standing right there. She nods and she says, "Yeah, all the way from actually, I think they've changed their name recently.
What
What
were
do
they
call
called
themselves these
before?
days?" She says, Brava, something like that. There's a trader that comes through every once in a while.
Oh, do they walk through the mists by chance?
She says, "Well, it's not these mists, but maybe
They're
don't know.
mists.
Never been myself, she says.
Right. Do they always try to get as much silver as they can?
Oh, we don't trade in silver here.
But do they always ask about it and
It's a very
things for like
lucky.
finding people and such?
Ma'am, what do I owe you for this meat?
No, it's
She had told you earlier that it was
she
on the
said it was
house.
free. No, I remember she said it was free, and now I'm like, but we haven't signed this we haven't decided. I know we haven't decided.
She did. She
We
did.
did it?
Yeah, we did.
All right. In that case, I'm drinking it. Thank
No,
you, ma'am.
of course
Sure.
we're taking care of them.
I'll raise it. I'll say thank you. We're drinking it. And
That's why we're here.
is this good meat?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
That's
But
what we
it's fresh.
discussed.
Is it? It's fresh.
That's part of the
You
reason
literally
why
just say it was fresh.
Yes, I did.
That's the best. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. I will
How's it-
grimace and be like, yeah. Well, that's enough of that.
Well, how's it taste? How's it taste? No. Give us your review, Mr.
tastes
Mr.
fresh.
Meat Bread.
It's
Okay.
It tastes young. This is young mead. Very
Young.
young.
Are we talking
It's
like
very,
Young.
it's very sweet.
Young mead
almost
means it's
Cloyingly sweet.
It means it's been
Yeah.
in the ferment for less than a year.
Exactly.
not only are two of us really amazing chefs, but one of us has made some meads of their own, and I'm honestly an award-winning
Back to
brewer
the
myself.
Back to the topic.
Listen to you.
Back in the old world, I actually won 5 awards at various festivals
If you
during
want,
a
you can have
single
the
year.
dregs here. Here, you can have a sip of this.
I-
Give it
I-
a shot.
It's more that I'm actually interested. I'd be happy to see how you do your brewing process, because I wonder if there's maybe some ways we could.
They piss in a barrel and then they put a lid on it.
No, they don't piss in the barrel.
This is not
piss
diabetic alcohol.
on the
Okay,
barrel.
stop it. There's
There
actually
are
alcohol
some
where
notes.
they use pee from the urine from diabetics.
Of ammonia?
Yes, I know.
I
No,
would not be
alcoholic
surprised
tea.
to hear that
Alcoholic
is
tea.
true. I believe it. Yeah. There are some like hints of flavor in it. It's not just honey and some very tiny amount of alcohol content. There's also some sort of like flower that's in there. Almost like lavender, maybe.
Nice. I like lavender meat.
And grass. It kind of tastes like grass.
Nice. I like weed in my meat also.
No.
Yes.
Not marijuana.
Yeah, grass, right? Some grass. You got some grass?
Yeah, no. No, I mean some sort of undomesticated maize.
Yeah, you mean turf grass.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
May I?
I'm sorry, it's a whiskey.
May I ask? Do you have, by any chance, like a black tea with a little oil of bergamot? I don't know what you would call it here. It was called Earl Grey back where I'm from, but
Earl
I don't,
Grey.
I don't know who that Earl
Earl
fella is.
Grey.
She says, "Well, I don't know about black tea, but
You'll never get tea.
I can definitely
Okay.
make you something herbal." She says.
Mormon tea.
Oh.
It's never going to be tea, though. Tea is a specific planet that only grows on the planet Earth.
There's tea
It's also
in other
leaf soup.
dimensions.
Could be, but it's not going to be exactly like tea. It's definitely
Yeah,
something.
it won't be the plant tea, but there's leaf soup and other.
Right. People soak bark and leaves in hot water in every dimension, I think.
That's a Tazon.
Actually, a better idea. Let me
That's
Yeah,
a tea song.
let me get one
Bergamot is
empty
bad for your
glass and one
delicious.
It is.
little drink of whiskey.
He says, "Oh," reaches under the table, produces one small, like a shot glass, and a dusty bottle. she pulls a cork from and pours a dark amber fluid into and then passes it to you.
Thank you.
Damn. Dark
Tell me
amber,
a
that
little
means
bit
it
about
was-
this whiskey here.
That means it was aged.
She says, well, it came with the inn. Had this bottle about 15 years. It's never run empty.
That's amazing.
Puts it back under the bar.
That is fantastic.
Oh,
So-
right.
So do you,
I'm
you know
gonna
kettle steam?
kind of take a little whiff of it. Kind of take in kind of the aromas. Take a sip of it.
Smells smoky. As you take a sip of it, it doesn't taste exactly like whiskey. There's definitely distilled alcohol in there, but it has a slight tinge of like sulfur and something hot, maybe like a pepper, as well as the typical complex flavors of a whiskey.
Oh,
It almost tastes infernal.
this reminds me of the what was known as the Islay region of place we used to live. This is delicious. You know what? Okay. Now this was the part I was really thinking. Could I get an empty glass, please? Maybe a little bit larger than this one.
You ever drink devil's whiskey?
Sure. Sure, she says, and she hands you a wooden cup.
Oh, all
About
right.
probably 2.5 times the size.
Kind of
Is
pour
it square?
like pour that into, or a little bit of that into the glass, and then kind of grab some of the horn that's been set aside, pour some of that in, kind of take a sip, just slosh it around a little, see if I got kind of the right titration. If it's maybe just add a little bit more of the whiskey, titrate it a little bit more, then finally put in the rest of it and top off with the meat in the way to get it to just the right balance. Swirl it around a bit and take a sip. It's like, there we go.
Oh shit, he's drinking my cursed
That's-
mead also.
Now that is an interesting complex. You saw what I did there. I would say, you've probably got the components back there. Try one like that yourself sometime.
No, she says, "Oh, I might. I'm not much for the fire water myself, but I can see how that might be a good flavor there."
Yeah. In fact, if it was something that you liked so much that you wanted to kind of work on making something a little bit more with it, maybe like sages would be the sort of flavor profile you'd want to go to give it a little bit more kick. Maybe a little like not black pepper, but like something peppery.
Black pepper is delicious.
It is. I agree.
They could also throw in some long pepper, if you know what I mean.
If she used one of those the terry cloth bags where when you want to use something in a recipe but you don't want the actual component to get into the recipe. My mind's blanking on the bag's name. I could see a couple
like
different funguses as well that could enhance the flavor.
Oh, like a sachet bag.
Yeah, exactly.
That one, thank you. Because I could see
I
a
was
couple of different
drawing a blank,
things, a couple of different flavor profiles from those that could come in and be pretty tasty as well.
Yeah. But anyway, while I enjoy this, do continue, my friends.
She nods. She says, "I see you've earned your vaunted reputations." To YOLO, she says, "Kettle steam. One of them bird folk?"
Yeah. I think she's a bird folk.
Yes, Kenku.
Yeah, I think I've heard the lady speak of her before. Called her a pet.
Wow.
Sounds accurate.
This pet wants to get back home, but can't because the lady is currently indisposed. We would like to, Put her back in a disposition in which she can have her pet back.
That seems like a good cause. I'd like to have the
Well, it's
lady
what originally
back
brought us
myself.
here. Then we found out what all's going on, and this is just not right.
She says it's not.
That well there is very hospitable. Like anybody who could read the magic runes, like would be expecting such a nice thing, and yeah, that's not very.
All of
Yeah, the
this
whole
damage
realm's been
has to be
turned on its head, she says.
Yep.
Where did they pull the water from?
She shakes her head and she says, "Don't know that anyone knows, lad. But it's foul, just like they are."
Mm.
gonna be a mess to
Maybe it
clean
comes
up.
from the same place.
Oh, also, I noticed this buildings on. I think they were stilts, just to keep it out of the water. Do y'all get much business being sitting here?
She smiles and she says, "Well, depends where here is."
This one
Oh.
walks then.
Or does it blinks?
At the next thud, she says, "We get along. Get about 6 miles an hour, give or take."
Okay. It's booking a pretty decent pace. Well, you won't have to worry about most of the critters that roam around.
Nah, she taps the bar affectionately, pats it with her hand, and she says, "We get by in high water or low. Always a happy home at the end of the road."
That is fantastic.
Whereabouts do you usually roam while things are in this horrid state? How long has it been in this horrid state?
She shakes her head and she says, "A few years now at least. It's hard to say. They stretch time as much as they befoul the waters here. But we've been stuck in hither ever since. So we just wander, move away from the trouble."
Seems like the mountain to the south is probably one of the other only safe places I've been able to find.
She nods and she says, "It's safe enough, I suppose, provided you behave yourself."
It shouldn't
I
be
feel
hard
as if
for
you have to
anybody to
behave your
behave
health.
there.
What was that?
Oh, I said it shouldn't be hard for
Well,
anyone to behave there.
She nods and she says, "You'd be surprised at some people, like those friends of yours you were talking about.
Good times.
Here we just throw them out on their ass. There, maybe they don't have an ass to throw anymore."
Well, other than the one that accidentally died, they have got a bit too many bruises on their ass to kind of consider anything else right now.
Even that was, kind of exhilarating.
I'm pretty sure the hill would help them take root and branch out into different ventures.
Welcome at the hill, remember?
No, remember they went to the that other place.
Right. No, they went somewhere else. They had a
But
burn
telling
they
me,
knew of.
you're not wrong though, my friend with the beard. Telling me would make sure they contributed in one way or the other.
They're not welcome at telling me.
Yeah, but if they, anyways, if you were headed northward, because I think that's where we're needing to head to find the powers that be, where would you look? is I've seen the giant tree stump to the north, which who would do that to a tree, I don't know. Actually, I have an idea who did it, which doesn't make me happy about it. But would you go up towards the tree? Would you go towards the lake? Or is there somewhere else that you would say would be better for us to go to first before we head towards the Wicked Three?
Well, she says, head cocked as she thinks about it. I suppose someone with a name such as yours won't be leaving without seeing her at her cottage. Says I'd head northwest. The easiest way is through the tollway, but it's, of course, where you'll find your friends again, I don't doubt. But if you can cross it, you'll come to Downfall and you'll come to Bevmora's cottage.
We won't see our friends again. They made a promise.
Bevmora.
Well, those ones.
She's
perhaps,
talking about the friends of our friends.
yeah.
Remember, they said they had a large family.
What can you tell us by any chance of this Longscar fellow? We understand he has taken the very best of his kin and left them to suffer with the rest. He was bidding.
You'll find him in the tollway. The paragon of his people, she sneers as she says it.
Not even close.
This wouldn't be a crime to put that one on his ass, if you ask me, she says.
Oh, we plan to do more. We want to take everything back. Level the playing field again for his people. He doesn't get to keep all
I generally
of that.
wonder, though, did he take all the pieces to become a defender of his people of sorts? Considering the state of affairs of this place, I can't exactly fault him.
Well, as we understood, I thought he was being supported by the witches, so there's no way that could be true. There's no way he could actually be the hero.
Well, the witches may be
defender.
leaving his people alone because he's doing their dirty work. The price for
Leaving
tits
them
and tat.
alone to do what? Send them out half
Cause
weekend.
general mischief. Yeah. Maybe
go-
that's all he wants to do.
Do you know what a
Send them
witch could
forth
do
to
to a
die.
rabbit that size in a cauldron?
Stuff
That's
him in
called
a hat.
stew.
Sue, she says, no, my name, never mind.
Sorry, Jory.
No, I kind of feel what Watts is saying there. Like, that he could be just kind of working with them in just enough respect to get them to leave alone so that they can benefit off the chaos. Perhaps Zabelno was a little bit more stringent about his wanton beating up of people. Sue, you could correct me if I'm wrong.
She nods. She says, actually, Zabilna kept the peace. The code worked through her will.
Makes a lot of sense then if Longscarf made his name through scheming and stealing the how did they put it? The best.
Yes.
Given the best. It reminds me of this song. Never mind. But anyway, they if Longscarf got the best from his people and now wishes the best from more people, but Spelno wouldn't let it, then working with the witches to make sure that they get to be on top of this junk heap is better than not being on top of a non-chaotic junk heap, I suppose.
She says, sort of skeptically. He says, but you're right. The lady wouldn't have put up with this nonsense.
I have a question, and it's one that I haven't yet to get a real answer for. How did the three take care of the lady? She does not strike me the type that, even with facing 3 opponents like those, would be easily bested.
If it had been a fair fight, I'm sure of it. They could not have possibly been a threat to her. But they used her code against her, is what I've heard.
Oh,
I don't know.
so
the
they
trick of
gave
it,
her
but
something of enough wealth to ask in return the throne.
She shrugs and she says something like that. What I've heard is that they used her own law to trap her. They say, and she kind of gestures vaguely behind her, that she's still there at her castle somewhere. I suppose that's your eventual aim.
Kind of what we expect is that she's contained there, but don't
I'd like
believe
to
it's
get up
so
there.
easy as to simply walk in.
Nah, you can't get there from here, that's for certain.
You'd
Not
have to
with
go
these
through the
damn
skyways,
mists
wouldn't you?
everywhere. Back when it was whole, certainly. If so, when the lady did. When these mists rose.
Where did the mists originate? Did they just come from the lake and spread?
She shakes her head. She says, don't know. The day that the hags took over, the mists came.
Huh.
Ever since, you can't make it from hither to thither.
So the hags are the problem.
What about Jan? Is Jan completely cut off as well?
There supposedly are those that know their way through. I've never met any of them, except for our traders, but they don't come from here.
It sounds like they come from a dark land filled with mists, if it's the one that I think it is. And that is a place I do not wish to invoke the name of if it's the one I think it is.
He shrugs. Never been myself.
Drugs?
I've heard tales of what is contained there, and generally speaking, I don't like getting on the bad side of dark deities.
Sound principle, she says, nodding.
Did my headset cut off?
Nope.
No, we heard that.
Okay. I didn't hear what Snipe finished saying.
Oh, she said sound principle as she nodded her head.
Okay. There we go. All I heard was a snap crackle. I was like,
Gotcha.
So what would it take other than brute force to defeat the witches? Do we have to do their deal in some sort of way, or I mean, we were offered a deal we didn't like. We provided a counter offer and they didn't like it, so we decided to end negotiations and move fist forward towards the faces.
Not exactly.
She says, I don't know how you would deal with a power like theirs. I suppose you could try their trick. The law, the code works through them now, as it once worked through the lady.
they'd have to maintain it, otherwise it would free the binding of the lady.
Indeed.
But what if we just decide to circumvent the code, that neither one of us can come to a deal that we agree upon when we both put forth offers? If it comes to violence, how does things resolve if we're able to win through combat?
Because that depends on them. They're not as consistent nor as strict as the lady, it seems. They punish those they decide to punish, and they ignore the rest.
Yeah, which might be why we got away with what happened. But
Yeah, actually, it sounds like
I do like to say that my philosophy thing got through. Maybe not.
I honestly think it's just that from a logistical standpoint, if two entities offer contracts, neither one like the other one contract, neither one's willing to budge or negotiate, then there has to be another way for the conflict to be resolved. There's no rules I'm aware of like some sort of third party arbitration or anything, so there's always the old fashioned way that works on the prime material realm, that is the strongest force is the one who wins.
Isn't that just a hospital?
She taps the table sort of apprehensively, the counter rather apprehensively, and she says, well, I'm not one to advocate violence, but I suppose it's true that a dead hag can't enforce their own laws.
But I mean, surely the crown or the powers that be in this place have some sort of reason why Zabelna hasn't been attacked yet.
We're gonna go kill a hag. Did I hear somebody say that?
I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe I need another
know.
drink. Do I need? I think I need another drink. Are we gonna go kill a hag,
I
guys?
don't know that we're gonna kill a hag. Hey, look, it's not like we haven't killed a hag before. We killed the the old bone grinder way under level, and having this schmuck over here drop the innards on top of the rest of us while we were here. No,
Dude, that
Wasn't that
crucial.
That was like
crucial.
Wasn't that like a D&D game though?
That was crucial.
That could still happen here. Anyway,
Right, but I'm looking around and I look at my hand and I'm like flexing my little rabbit hand and I'm like, I don't feel like this is the same thing.
I mean, it's a full ass rabbit hand. It's not a little rabbit hand.
Drop it.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a full-on rabbit hand. I'm waving it. I'm just gonna wave it in his face and be like, I don't feel like this is the same thing.
honestly, I
absolutely
wouldn't like to resolve to violence. I mean, if we got to make love, and that's the better resolution or whatever. I mean, could do that one too, but
I likewise agree.
Another mead, please, barmaid mistress.
But I mean, does this hag happen to live in like a poorly maintained mill, or maybe even better yet, a house on stilts?
No,
or rabbit feet.
She says.
Shit. So there goes my best method of killing hags.
it didn't even kill them.
No, it was crucial to killing that hag. I assure you.
I
Weren't
do
there
think
like
that your
3
job
of
would have
them?
been harder. Yeah. there
Also,
were.
I also took no damage during that.
Because you decided to protect yourself. You didn't give anyone a heads up.
I
get
gave
out.
you a heads up. I gave you a whole turn.
No,
That's not. I mean,
that's not true.
I
I've got that on record. That is not true.
You do.
We will
You
resolve
do.
this
You can
another
play it.
time.
You can play it. I ducked into the fireplace. You asked me why I ducked in the fireplace. I said, because I'm going to destroy that thing next
We told
turn
you
and
not
then give
to.
You guys the whole round. You told me not to, but I didn't say I was going to listen to you. I just told you what I was going to do.
that's all factually true.
You're right. We should have just shut the lid on that thing and just kept fighting.
You did manage to kill the hags, though.
It was very important.
you also technically killed everyone else in the party.
But we did kill the hags.
But we defeated the hag.
And we're still not sure.
You got
Like-
lucky that the rubble didn't fall in front of the stoop, and you could get out of the fireplace.
Yeah. You know,
You got stupid lucky there.
I did.
Otherwise,
I brought
we
you
could
all
have
back.
all been dead, and you could have been trapped, slowly starving to death.
But here's the ironic thing. I'm the one who's dead now.
Are you really dead?
Well, you
Do you
got
want to check
better.
my pulse? No. Do you want to check my pulse right now? Like you can't. We can go through this again. My lady,
Okay,
do
I'm
you
going
want
to
to
ask you the same question that I've asked before. Do you consider artificial intelligence alive or dead?
Artificial
Oh.
intelligence, as we know it from our time, is currently a dead thing.
That's funny. I wonder if you could do the like biofeedback thing, like you know how like a yogi could like stop their heart. I wonder if you could like do the opposite and like consciously make your heart beat.
What would that do me though? I want the benefits.
Really, how could you prove that it wasn't,
You know,
sympathetic system, right?
I don't know. I haven't been getting, really affected, but the magic food works.
Parasympathetic, I suppose.
Well, is there
If the
any
food
other
is magical, that works on me.
any other sort of guidance or anything that I think might help us out here? Because I've got to say, it's going to be a whole lot of going through this and that, and here and there to clear up the problems of hither and thither and yon. So,
I mean, could we raise up a rebellion? You got a tavern here. This is the best place to, raise a snake.
She shakes her head at that.
You ever heard of a guillotine?
She says the inn at the end of the road is a haven, a sanctuary.
Not a place of war.
Place for that. Exactly.
What do you mean? It's a sanctuary for people to talk. You got it.
I thought it was a sanctuary for another mead, and I was going to get one.
If we give probable cause for people to come in to where they can ignore the rule of 3, they would, and that would cause problems for this place. So long as we maintain the status quo, this place stays a safe haven for those that need one desperately in these trying times.
Once I've only had one.
Well, I mean,
meat.
she's
I would
already.
like
You've had 2, sir. You've had 2. You ordered
no, I
a
didn't
one,
get-
and
I
she
didn't
got
get-
you one.
Did you bring it to me? I didn't get it.
The voice in the back.
what
Yes, you did.
I didn't drink it yet. I'm going to drink my second one. I get one more though. You said rule of 3.
She gave.
That's not exactly how that works.
That's what he
No,
said.
no,
Rule of
actually-
3.
She
What-
gave it to her free. Stop the thing happening. So I mean, it's almost kind of like she's a sympathizer already. So the inn at the end of the road is already a safe haven for rebellion.
But it cannot be an
She says,
official base because it would make it where they would have
we're
probable
not. We're not
cause.
recruiting anybody. We're just talking and having a drink. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually wanted to ask, what are the different rules of 3? We had also been told by Kettle's team on the way out. I believe it was future, present, and past.
She smiles at that and she says, "That's not rule of 3. That's funny." She smiles and she says, "That's the thing we tell children."
Right. The past, the present, the future.
Yanking
Faith,
our chain,
hope, and
huh?
charity.
So it's
The
really
mind, the brain, the body.
so.
Come
What are the 3 that
These
actually
things
like
described in magic, though.
matter and are dictated in the different do hither, tither, and yon have the same rules of 3, for example?
It takes 3 legs to make a tricycle.
She nods and she says, across all of Prismare, you'll find the rules the same. What might change is how they are interpreted. Mentioned, our new lords are capricious. She says with a sort of like raised eyebrow, and so their interpretations are subject to whim, but they are the rule of hospitality, the rule of ownership, the rule of reciprocity.
I have those written down. Actually, no. What I have written down is hospitality, reciprocity, and ownership.
That's exactly.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
I've also been drinking tonight, and I can keep up.
She just said them in a different order.
Okay. No, I missed ownership.
On the three that we were talking about, the past, the present, and the future. How is it told to the children?
And she says, well, it's the. She struggles with the word, and she says, I guess punchline to a puzzle. She says the way it goes, and it's different depending on who tells it, is you tell a story that sounds like it begins in the past and progresses to the present and then ends in the future, when in fact, the story begins in the future, passes through the past, and ends in the present. Or, she nods, in some cases, a variation thereof. The point is that the story is not in order as told, even though it seems like it is, but it only makes sense if you determine the proper.
Oh.
Huh. I wonder if that's how they trapped the witch. I mean, the lady, sorry. How the witches trapped the lady. If they made it a situation where she hadn't honored her rule of 3 because she had to do something out of order. In that,
She shrugs. She says, I don't know what actually happened.
Only the hag would know, and that is whom we
Well, is that
start.
true? Is it only the hags who would know, or are there other people or overseers or whoever that may have been present?
Perhaps members of the ladies' court, but none of them have left the palace.
Well,
We
I think
do have
we
a
found
dragon
one of her
friend looking.
knights.
What was that?
I think we found one of her knights.
Yeah, I was
DM's note, you did not find one of her knights. You found a knight of a different fairy lord who was coming to investigate why Zabilna had contacted her.
Oh, right. That would be pulled up in my notes.
He was a knight of the Sealy court.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had met Sir Talavar of the Sealy court.
So we have at least an inn.
She kind of nods agreeably, but it's pretty clear she doesn't know who that is.
Yeah.
The Summer Queen. Summer Queen of Sealy Court.
Well, wait. If all of the places have been turned like this, doesn't that mean that all of the
What she said was all of Prismere.
Oh, okay.
Prismere, is the realm within which hither, tither, and yon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are
that one? I mean,
what are the realms other than hither, and yon that exist in Prismere?
she says, well, there's the palace, but that's about it.
So the Sealy court is outside of Brisbane.
He nods. She says, that sounds about right. I've never been, but I'm willing to believe that every fairy lord probably has their own realm.
I'm sure of a certain rank and above, but not all lords are the same.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of fairy lords?
I'm sure there are as many as there are seasons and leaves. Are you able to connect to magics outside of this place?
She thinks about the question for a moment and she says, well, that's never been a thing that I could do, but I've seen others. I mean, our regular traders, they don't seem to have any problem with their magic when they're here and they're not from this realm.
Okay. I'm just I've been having a minor crisis of faith. You see, I'm a cleric, and I love my goddess. And before, when I've prayed, I could connect to my goddess, feel her warmth and love, and rage on occasion. And now, it's like the door is closed. I'm still able to work all of my magics, etc., but I don't have that connection, and it's worrisome. I wish to take care of this place, but I don't know if I will be able to.
She says, understandable. I'd imagine your Kenku friend feels similarly about her loss of the lady.
It's one of the reasons I agreed to help, because the silence is deafening.
You know, she says, actually, the last time those traders were here, they mentioned something similar. Not that they had lost a connection to their lord, I think they called it, but that their lord was gone. I wonder if that relates in some way to the problem you're having. Dead? Did they say their lord was dead? She says to herself.
Oh, their lord's undead, actually. If it's the one I think it is.
They seem to sound like this was a recent development.
Do you know much about chronomancy?
Time magic? She says, deciphering the word. No, I can't say that I do. I know these hags can play with time.
That's good to know, and also bad.
In fact, the name of their coven is the Hourglass Coven, she says quietly.
Oh.
So that's Mr. Witch and Mr. Lighter. Leave with them, I would imagine.
That would make sense.
She kind of looks at you and she says, "You mean Witch and Light, the carnival?"
Yes, that's how we got here.
That's why you were asking about Weatherlight earlier, huh? I see.
We get the impression they pulled one over, perhaps with the aid of the witches, to steal the carnival from Mr. Weatherlight.
She says, she laughs literally out loud. She says, oh no, they stole the carnival, all right, but not in the way that you think. She laughs. She says, you cross more realms than these, you'll find Weatherlight, and you'll find him leading a dreary carnival of murder that used to belong to those two drow.
Oh no, they did a horrible trade.
Yeah,
they crossed paths here.
Indeed, she says.
Do you know why he would have? How this trade occurred?
The witches. Remember, they were always trying. They were claiming that they were running short on things. They were trying to find things to feed the witches to pay back their debt.
She nods and she says, I don't know the whole story. But much in the same way that the hag supposedly fooled Lady Zabilna, Witch and Light made a deal with Mr. Weatherlight to try each other's walks of life just for one go around. Of course, a go around can't finish if you never come back to where you start, can it?
Diabolical.
And so he just keeps spinning the wheel.
You'll never find Witch and Light here, I'll tell you that much. But they have a debt and a connection to those hags.
I see.
That would make a lot of sense.
So if they were to be forcibly dragged through across the threshold, they would have their debts.
Oh, I'd imagine Weatherlight would come running. He'd feel that.
Ooh, well, Maybe once we've dealt with the
Interesting.
witches, we have something we'll
Where's
take care of
Weather-
when we're done here.
Well, wait. I don't feel my full barbarian blocking magic capability coming on just yet. Weatherlight, what's he like? Where's he? Perhaps we can date a little indebtitude, the indebting. We could call that our next operation, if you see what I'm thinking, you know?
Oh,
The indebting. We find a means to bring the two here, and then, of course, Weatherlight would owe us, and Mr. Weatherlight is, you know, a person of great means.
Verde, okay. YOLO. I'm gonna boil this down to an even better essence.
You could also call me Miguel.
You, sir, are thinking of only one person technically knowing us. Think of all of the carnival people, all the workers. None of them looked happy. They all looked miserable.
Yeah.
Technically, they all would be exceedingly happy.
Yeah. We have a whole army that could then fight the witches, who would be like, this is not the place that we wanted to come back to. Not like these folks behind us, and I lower my voice. These guys, they're dead inside. They've already settled into the chaos. The chaos happened for them. But
unfortunately, we don't have a means by
people-
which to get back to the mirror to possibly kick them through the mirror. So we're going to have to take care of the witch first to possibly rebuild the realm a little bit to then possibly get them through. We might actually have to do all three.
That's
then
right.
use Weatherlight towards the demon lord.
This is perhaps why we would like to talk to Mr. Weatherlight. Maybe there is perhaps a way to, get.
He's not going to be able to do much help, if any, because the carnival he's in charge of. Well,
He's bound by a deal.
But he's running their carnival.
No, he's not running their carnival.
Oh, he totally is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh,
That is entirely the bargain. One full round in each other's shoes. Because you never truly know a man's experiences till you live a day in their shoes.
So wait, there's another carnival out there?
Yes.
Yeah, there's Witch and Light's actual carnival, which she described as a carnival of murder.
Oh. Well,
that's one of the reasons why they had such struggling issues. Because they're wanting paid by the witches.
Yeah.
Their witches are wanting to be fed joy and happiness.
No, I hear that. No, absolutely. So I'm saying we could definitely get some information from Mr. Weatherlight, perhaps, that might point us in a direction to fixing that mirror.
Well, Sue interrupts you and she says, I can tell you a couple of things about Weatherlight, but I don't think you're going to like the sound of them. You won't find him in hither. That's for sure. Not
Oh, that already.
Not since the trade. Last I heard, he'd set up shop in a what did he call it? A city of doors?
Oh, disgusting. You mean sigil?
That's the place. She nods.
That's disgusting.
That's kind of hideout.
It's disgusting.
He said that he could set up his carnival there and not have to inflict it on the plains.
The fuck do you
He's a good man, Weatherlight.
How is it? Well, okay, I don't like the fact that he's not here, and getting to sigil would be an issue, and that already makes the crowd. It's already not an option now. But how is that logical? Sigil is on all of the planes. He's inflicting the carnival on every single plane.
He's restricting the carnival to sigil, but sitting in a place where he has access to every other plane, so that if he hears about where Witch and Light are, he can bring the carnival to them.
Oh, fantastic.
Since it doesn't pertain to this story, I'll just tell you why.
No, that's actually kind of wise. I like it.
Weather was absolutely a genius. There's a reason why his carnival did so well, and why the two were so jealous of him.
I
The
kind of
Weatherlight was a
share
favorite of the lady, Sue says. She says, you could think of him as Prismir's export to the other realms out there.
Oh, that's fine. We definitely need to find this person after all this shit's done, like you were saying. Unfortunately, Weatherlight can't help us. So, I mean, there's back to rebellion, but we can't establish that in this house.
Before we leave this the land of Prismere, though, we should find a printing press and get a whole bunch of pamphlets ready. So once we get back through to the other side, we can start distributing them to the workers and start to prepare to get Mr. Witch and Mr. Light conked on the back of the head and dragged over to the mirror with us, so we can unceremoniously drag them through and complete the transaction.
I wonder if there's a reason why the workers haven't left yet. They're probably under some kind of contract.
Oh yeah, they're under contract. I'm sure they can't leave. I don't know if there's actually part of the contract about either organizing together or
tie up your boss.
Otherwise, just capturing upon discovering that your original employer has been defrauded, assist in the local constabulary, which is us.
Alien, this is brilliant. Corporate espionage.
We're
going to take over the Witchlight carnival, but in a violent takeover. It's going to be great.
Well, no, it's not going to be violent. It's going to be fairly bloodless. It's going to be all the workers, and then these two ding-dongs holding their junk be like, oh no, I guess the gig's up.
I'm sure.
As the
count the money.
As the guy from the King of the Hill medieval times episode said, I don't want to go back to selling used cars.
Didn't that guy die like yesterday?
Yeah, I think so.
Which that guy?
No, that was the other one. That was Dale.
Yeah, it was that guy.
No, not that guy. It was just the guy who was the ringleader for the medieval times, the Ren Fair, where he was getting. They were getting the propane to the dragon that shoots the flaming breath out on the field to be well supplied.
Right. No, I am not super familiar. I know one of the main characters, and I thought it was the
as a piece of news. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was Dale, but I can't remember the actor's name. But
Dale Gribble.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, pocket sand.
Moving on.
That's a good question, though. That's a good question.
That's funny.
Is there anything we can do for you, Sue? Any?
She shrugs and she says, "It sounds like you're going to fix my biggest problem for me." So
there's the protection part, but I mean, we also do delivery. It's the first part of our name. Do you have any packages you want to send? We're going up to that weird, town, I guess is what you might call it. It looked like I don't know. It looked like a place where banjos might be played.
You're heading to the tollway?
Yeah.
And the place past the tollway.
Downfall.
Yeah.
Exactly. She says, well, if it's downfall you're heading for, I don't have anything that I need delivered other than perhaps you four yourselves, but you should get some rest. You definitely want to be at your best if you're heading into that den.
Fantastic idea.
Not wrong.
I also have to ask, and this is we came across a certain incident where some very well-funded people who are not the hero were defeated by a certain villain. Can only be defeated by heroes. As such, we've found ourselves fairly well armed. However, if you by any chance have any things that would help adventurous sorts like us in the West, things to perhaps restore people's wounds, wake them up from a state of near death, or maybe even something that if you put it on the tip of something and stick it in something, they won't be feeling so good afterward. Any sorts of things like that, little trinkets or baubles, if you hold them in, think about something in the right way, make something cool happen. Where anything
I'm not sponging for loot. It be gold I'm after.
I don't care about gold. And honestly, if it's anything that you want, that's just
I
on
feel like
on
I'm
a
only an amateur hero.
being
I need
lended
more
to us for the
experience.
moment, and we can return it
No,
to
I'm
you
just 2
before we
means
leave
in
the
and
realm. I'm
quoting
more than
fucking
happy to do
Pirates
that.
of the Caribbean.
But
Yeah, she shakes her head and she says, "I'm sorry. You won't find anything like that here at the inn."
hey,
No,
you
no
don't need
fetch
to
quest.
apologize. I can understand how that sort of
Oh,
thing would
wait.
make you a target.
Oh, wait a minute.
It says food, rest, music, liquor. Those we have.
That's great. Those are all
What's
things I
making the
like.
music, by the way?
They are a
Is
magic
it
of their
being
own, for
done
sure.
by the building itself?
She nods. She says, "Mostly, the inn likes to play what pleases the guests. I guess is the best way to put it. It can sense the
Mind
mood
the
of the room."
staircases. It
How-
likes change.
How do the guests... this is an odd question. How do the guests actually know what they like? Are they given opportunity to be exposed to various musical styles and patterns and polyrhythms and stuff? Like that's I'm not asking this to be
I am
facetious. I am
no
actually
rush right now is actually what I'm hearing.
very interested to
Well,
wonder
I like
what
rush, and this ain't no rush.
what it is, what it
It's not
keys in on, and how
synchronized.
it's able to determine such a thing.
There's no
The inn
guitar.
plays its own music, but from time to time, when folks have shout out requests, they've been played.
How would it know a song somebody
Passage to
knows?
Bangkok.
Like if we name a song that we knew from our realm, would it be able to perform that, or does it have to be a song from Prismere?
Well, I mean, I just did it.
Yeah, you yelled out, "Play a Passage to Bangkok."
Please. I'll add please sheepishly afterwards.
Yeah, no problem. Nothing answers you directly, but the music does play a bardcore version of the instrumental track of Passage to Bangkok.
Nice.
Oh my fucking god.
That'd be amazing.
I don't even need any food anymore.
I would just start chuckling at that. But
You said rest? Yeah, I'm here to rest.
This
Here,
inn
I'm
is
gonna-
fantastic.
I'm gonna go
Bogota,
sit at the
baby.
table.
Bogota. That's the first place we're going. Bogota.
Wait. Okay. Do you have anything to smoke here? Is this a hookah lounge as well?
You don't have to say it like all quiet and secretive like that. If it is,
Right.
it is.
She looks at you and she says, "No, but if you brought your own, you're welcome, I suppose."
Mom, you got some
No.
weed. That's what he's asking.
There's none. I have none.
I have to ask a question. How do you keep things cool and refrigerated here?
Magic.
Element.
She kind of looks at you and she says, "Well, I mean, there's the pantry.
Well, I
Slaves.
suppose that
Oh,
would keep things
keeps
kind
things
of cool.
cool, but
Where I'm from, it's called a cellar.
no, there's no cellar here.
No,
Here's the
cellar
pantry, though.
seems to be standing the whole entire building up above the what?
Gotta figure out.
She smiles. She says, "That's the in skirt, lad. It hides its legs."
Oh, it
We,
has legs.
Yeah.
Is it a girl house?
Aye.
Aye, and a beauty.
I have a question. Is this place technically an elder mimic?
The whole place.
No, she shakes her head. She says, "At least I don't think so. She was gifted to me by the lady, but I always assumed that she was a creation of the lady, not a monster," she says slowly.
That's
Pet monster.
mimics
Pet
are not
monster.
monsters. They're lovely creations that have lost their purpose and way.
Pet
Elder mimics are fantastic. They can be as large as houses, fully sentient, so you can have full-on conversations. They're wonderful.
You know, I've recently heard a saying once.
Mm.
Owl bear starts off cute. First, it eats a little bit. Then it grows up and it eats you out of house and home. Then it grows up to eat you.
Oh, I thought it was just gonna like get really big and then you write a bunch of children's books about it.
No, it gets really big and it's an owl bear, so it will eat you because that's what owl bears do.
I mean, there's nothing
Unless it
keeping a
considers
giant
me
ass
family, then it actually wouldn't. It's still very
Irish setter
light.
from eat. Like if you're a fucking 20-ton Irish setter, you're still gonna eat your owner.
I mean, I guess there
Yeah.
are some places in like Uzbekistan and Russia where they declawed bears, and like I've technically trained with somebody who's.
Did they detooth them?
They swear that they wrestled with a bear.
It's a band I've heard.
No, but they swear that that they actually did wrestle with a bear, and it happens in real life.
I knew a
I
guy
have,
that everyone
in fact,
called a
seen
bear.
video of quote unquote bear wrestling.
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
Don't search that on YouTube.
The bear must be declawed, though, is what the guy said.
Bear wrestling probably needs it.
That
You to
makes
have
sense.
safe search turned off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
on
the
YouTube you'd
teeth,
probably be all
too.
right, but yeah.
The teeth would also be an issue. I would feel, but maybe there's something you could do. Nothing really about the crushing pressure of jaw strength.
Right. I was going to say jaw strength that can crush your head regardless of teeth. So,
But perhaps you have a point there. Perhaps you can just wrestle and play around with a bear that you've raised from a cub, and if it's gentle.
I didn't need that extremity.
Oh, nice.
I guess.
I'm sure you could actually talk to any druid or ranger, and they'd be happy to explain to you how you can go about raising an owlbear or bear or just about anything and making it practically family.
And if
I
they're
thought
degenerate enough
owlbears
and for the
were
right price, they can probably show you
magical
what it's like to be
abominations,
intimate
though.
with them.
Not actual beasts.
You know,
Owlbears-
if you
owlbears are
really,
magic,
Story?
yeah.
if you really
They're
want to
not
make
that-
friends with an owl bear, what you got to do is put, the giblets
weren't owlbears made
of
by
some
Loco?
piece of poultry into one of the organs and make it basically like a makeshift uncooked blood sausage, and
Right,
then
or a
you
big fish.
you gotta make sure you pack that thing with a whole lot of like a minty or a eucalyptusy, something effervescent, because they eat it, they don't actually taste that effervescence, but then they start breathing it in and it just knocks them on their buns, and then they start tripping out because they start not quite hyperventilating, but like their breathing becomes restricted and they start hallucinating. They have a good time.
But they are
you
considered
correct, by
beasts
the
that
way,
you
Vern.
can tame, yes?
I don't know. They might
Well,
be like cazadors.
I
would
don't
never
know.
want to try to train a cazador.
I don't know if you could actually, train one that way, but it's a good way to not get eaten by one. And you can actually kind of pet them when they're all like lucid, tripping out on the ground. They, when that's one of the fun things, when they actually start letting you kind of scratch them behind the ears and stuff, then like they don't want to eat you. You do that enough times, yeah, sure, you might be able to train it. We usually just use that to get the hell away from it. But
Yeah, you can train owlbears.
Oh, okay. I would never want to train a Cazador though. Similar back.
No. Yeah, I feel like a Cazador is much harder to train than an owlbear.
I personally would love to have a mimic and gel cube cooking partners. Traveling, I think they'd be great.
You know, I'm already a walking corpse. If I could get turned into like slime, that might be okay.
actually, I think you might
Gelatinous
really like
cube.
a
Yeah.
some sort of like squid or octopus buddy that you can keep in a water pouch. Because gotta say, they have amazing palettes.
No.
You're not wrong.
Minion, just carry Minion around with you.
I'm more justified to eat squid here than I was in the real world.
Especially if it's like a baby
But
like
no,
mind flayer or
legitimately, I feel
something.
like a gel cube would
Don't
be
even
a
talk about them.
Sir?
Dude, I know. I'm actually mad. I'm gonna play this game, but I'm a little mad about the liberties that they're taking with the fucking races in this game.
Don't even talk.
They are not taking any liberties with the races in that game.
Okay. I'm gonna have to play it to know for sure, but I just feel like they dip their fucking nachos in literally everything.
It's a Forgotten Realms adventure.
I know my favorite world, the one that I have the most knowledge of.
It starts in Spelljammer.
Gross, but okay.
But only for like 2 seconds. But I mean,
Yeah, it's
if you
not
talk
a
to one of the-
Spelljammer adventure. It just starts there.
Yeah.
But if you talk to one of the characters, she will talk about how her Kretch.
the Illithid are supposed to be horrific AF.
and
They are. They absolutely are. No fucking question. That is not taken any lightly at
Yeah.
all.
And
No.
and the thing on the cover of the Fiend Folio is a fucking Githyanki.
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
and the Githyanki are not treated like fucking good guys. Like they're not.
Oh hell no.
They better not
They
be,
are-
because they're not only not good guys, they are not of this plane.
They're not of this plane. Absolutely
And they're not kind. And they feel like every
Oh,
crime is a
absolutely. And they-
fucking bitch.
And they
And they're-
are
they're
not
worse
kind.
than
Yeah.
elves.
Dude. The Githyanki in this companion series is a better Githyanki representation to what you might think a Githyanki should act like than the Githyanki companion that you had in Torment. Who was absolute adhered follower to a weird sect of Githyanki who technically, are absolutely a thing, but he was the mellow kind of Githyanki, whereas every single other Githyanki would literally attack you on sight if you had this Githyanki in your party.
The reason I bring up the
is
Fiend Folio
in
guy
question
because
that you
I'm
were
like,
talking about is of the kind of
I'm gonna go grab a
that
drink.
will
I'll be right back.
literally just attack people.
yeah, no, the
If
reason
you
I bring up
had
the fact that he's
the two
on the Fiend
companions-
Folio is because nobody would even have thought that was going to be your friend or a player character or anything
Oh,
back
hell
there
no,
in what
yeah.
84 or whenever. Like he's on the cover of the Fiend Folio.
I
The baddest bad guys in the game.
I hear you.
The baddest bad guys.
I hear you. You mean the Illithid?
No. I mean the Gith.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay,
Illithid,
so
nobody knew that they were called
on
Illithid until like mid fucking Forgotten Realms, because before that they were just simple mind flayers, the worst of the worst thing that lives underground. Mind flayer. They were just called mind flayer. They weren't called Illithid in like properly until second edition, midway through somewhere.
Okay, so just
I'm
to
going to go
clarify, the
AFK for a sec as
Githyanki.
well.
Okay, Nero. As I understand, the Githyanki that's going on in this particular game are actually trying to break free of the oppressing enslavement that is being done by the Illithid.
That's typical Gith. Yeah, that's the only reason
Dude.
why you know the Gith.
Right, but that is stepping into a like. Come on, like
That is
we don't
the
have room to go.
backstory.
I get
I'm
it.
not saying that
Trying to be
everything
fair,
why
wants to
you
be
break
fluid,
the
and I get it, and that's
Oh my
cool.
god.
Let's
Oh
get
my
it.
god, this is dumb. Like,
Yeah,
I played the game. The only reason why you would know a Gith in the first place, like very likely in a Faerun setting, is by interacting with a Mind Flayer. And your character in Deus Rex, I believe is the nerdy term, was kidnapped by a mind flare, right? At the start of the game. So, the fact that you know a Gith means fuck all, because the Gith was also kidnapped by the mind flare, trying to be freed by the mind flare, because you want to know what mind flares do to Gith? The same thing they've done to Gith before the Gith gained sentience, the fight against the mind flare, which has been, the lore I've known since Torment. And Torment is OG, fucking second edition rules. They use fucking Daco. The only reason why I know what fucking Daco is because I've beaten and played goddamn Torment.
I won't speak to player character gifts in this game, but I assume that they are likewise, kidnapped by the Illithid. But the Gith NPC is well representative of the lore.
Yeah, way better than Zarathmon in Torment. Like, that guy is calm in comparison. There's no Mary
Sue about the Gith NPC at all. Like, it's likewise, a fucking Gith, and it's in your party, and fuck.
Yeah, likewise, I might be suspicious of everything she says you might want to do, but I haven't done it yet. Technically, I've only played the early access stuff, so I don't know what they've changed or what's different. But Gith or Gith.
I can't be critical of how they handle them in the game because I haven't.
I'd rather deal with a sadistic drow than deal with a Gith.
Dude, at least drow are from the prime material plane, which is kind of what I'm getting at. Githyanki are demon. And they are opposed, demon, as opposed to devil. Fiends. Yeah. There's demon and devil, right?
Yeah.
Githyanki fight, they're fiends.
Didn't you make the argument that they're also chimera?
That doesn't matter to what I'm speaking to.
That's only after a while.
The Githyanki are at war with the Githzerai, which are their brother race. Right,
and that's
also demons, demons.
Yes,
but they are also at blood war.
Yes,
blood war,
which is just demons.
With all devils.
That's entirely different. But you actually highlighted something important, which will just emphasize my knowledge on this. The only reason why they're at war with their brothers is because of that whole philosophical thing, which is why the Gith in Torment is calmer, quote, than the Gith representation that is in Baldur's Gate 3. Because the Gith representation in the Baldur's Gate 3 isn't the one that was all like, yeah, books are cool. This Gith was more like, nah, swords are the way to fucking do it.
War is awesome, and we will defeat our enemies. We will destroy them.
Yeah.
Because that is Githyanki, right? Yeah. As opposed to Githzerai, which are also demons, but also even more so, they're so wrapped up in the actual blood war during the time of the Forgotten Realms, AD&D Second Edition.
Killing the Lithids.
Well, yes, but those are two separate. They're not all wrapped up in one.
No. I'm saying it is. It's core to their whole being, right? The only reason why they have knowledge and personhood is because the guy who made the philosophy of the character who's in Torment found a sword inside a dead Illithid and realized that a Illithid could be killed, and then made a philosophy on independence, sort of Sikh style. It's actually kind of really cool. And then there is a split in that philosophy, which made the Githyanki and the Githzerai. And because they're demons, they went and did the blood war thing after they established themselves. But they have the war with themselves because of the philosophical split, but they hate the Illithids because the Illithids enslaved their predecessor, which was the whatever demon they all were together.
Whatever they were before they were
Gith. I forgot.
The Gith by themselves, quote, without anything afterwards. The Gith of the people were enslaved by the Illithid.
But usually,
they weren't even Gith at the time, but whatever they were before they were Gith. Right.
Yeah.
But they were also
the word Gith actually means awakened.
This also calls in what I'm actually speaking to, which hopefully they're telling the story and y'all are getting it. Hopefully they are telling the story and you're all getting it now. Because again, I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it.
I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about it.
But the Illithid are are multi-dimensional. They're not from the Prime either, right?
No,
they're not
of
from
course.
fucking here.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. The first 10 seconds of the game has you on a nautiloid ship, technically Spelljammer,
Yeah,
and the thing literally
Well, that's
goes
an illithid
through.
ship, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's Epsilon, right?
Yeah, the thing is getting attacked by Gith and literally goes through the nine hells, then gets attacked by other devils because of the blood war, like you're talking
Right.
about. But they don't highlight on that because it's just shit that's happening around you. Right?
Alright.
You're a fucking dude who's been kidnapped by illithids. This is what would happen. You've been fucking cowed. They stuck a
Alright.
probe in you, and you're in their spaceship along for the ride.
Y'all giving me
Gith
hope, even though it starts
and
with fucking
devils
Spelljammer.
fucking attack.
Why did you give that a
And
plus?
then the
Okay.
ship
Well, no.
crashed.
Yeah, so
That's
jokes
it.
aside, dude, the reason it starts that way is to establish how fucking horrifying the illithid is and the situation you're in.
No, it makes sense.
Because otherwise, it would just
If
be
I put aside
stupid.
my lore, my snob nose, not even my lore nose, because it's lore correct. If I put aside my snob nose, it's all right. It is all correct. God, man, Spelljammer is so cringe.
Those.
Because Spelljammer
there
is
is-
cringe.
There is no actual Spelljammer, it just starts there.
Yeah, it just starts on a nautiloid. And you know what? Nautiloids are the coolest ships. So, like, at least you're not on a whale warship or, like, oh.
And you want to know
Come
the thing
on.
about the whale warship? If you talk to your Githyanki in camp or anything, like flavor things, she'll say that she has knowledge taking over a Spelljammer ship and then destroying
That's
it.
good. They should. I mean, if they're going to do it, like, if you're going to start there, that's what they ought to do. Like, again,
But-
I can't
But
talk shit.
you
I
have
haven't
no
played it.
idea what that is. You have
I
no
was just
idea what it
afraid-
is as
I
your
was just
character,
afraid that
unless you're
because-
like hyper intelligent or something. I wouldn't know.
I
My
just keep
character
seeing
has
the
no
edges
idea
of
what
things that I'm
Spelljammer
like,
was.
wow,
She
that's
said-
deep
Yeah.
lore.
She said words, literally, and the words were like, I remember doing this thing and blah 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 and zip and syllables and a Spelljammer ship and taking it over.
Well, that's for people like me.
Yeah.
That's actually for
And
people
I'm
like
like-
me, right? That's so that I'll be like, oh, well, you did read the lore then. Okay.
Yeah, I was all like, what the fuck?
So, all right. Again, I haven't played it. I don't know. I just keep seeing little snippets where I'm like, wow, there's Githyanki in your party. Oh,
There's only
wow.
one.
Oh, you know, like,
There's only one Gith in the
it's
party.
cool. It's cool. I'm going to play it. I'm going to.
Well,
And-
yeah, I suppose there could be two if you rolled one yourself.
I guess.
Right. You could, yeah. I know a bunch of people at work that rolled one at work or rolled one as their main because of like particular grognardy stat
Reason.
bonuses and shit. And then other people that are like, I'm only playing a bard as my main because that way I can pass all of the stat checks.
Well done.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was going to say, pick a gift doesn't actually give you a huge benefit. You get a couple of bonuses, like you can do a psionic leap, and you can do, is it like detect thoughts? There's like one other thing that you can do, and that's really
Yeah,
it. Otherwise, they're
detect thoughts
Don't
basically
say
Yeah.
you have astral knowledge or something.
that's
Sure.
right. Yeah, you can go, I want to be an expert in strength checks today. And then you can change what attribute or skill you have psychic knowledge of every day. Every
So-
long rest.
So I'm assuming that this is the weird conversation we're having as we are winding down. She said to rest
Right.
and relax.
Yeah, we're all sitting around a bar table here.
No, I thought we were waiting for Neuro to get back.
Okay,
think we are.
Cool. If Nero's actually then we can keep talking.
And I totally did forget. I did
They got a
forget that
mage
they had tied
hand.
the illithid into the Githyanki like stuff because if
Well, otherwise
if you
they're
were-
just monsters. They're
Sonic-
just-
oh no, they're not monsters, they're
Three.
demons. It's different.
Misty
No,
step
no,
at level
it's-
5.
demons
He
were
meant
just another
mobs.
monster. Yeah.
No, I used
I'm-
to use demons and devils as blood
No,
like
No,
No, he doesn't mean that. He means they were mobs.
oh
Yes. I mean, until second edition, until the things that you were talking about, they were just fucking mobs. The
They were
retro
demons.
continuity added to the experience. Yes, they were demons, but a demon is just another mob.
not really. They had reasons.
mob
They had
within
origins.
No, a
Okay,
demon was just another mob. dude.
No,
Yeah.
what I'm actually, the line I'm trying to draw
I am
here
talking
is
about
I
in the
actually cut
fiendish
psionics
manual
out
that
of
you're
my
talking-
games.
I know.
Right.
We understand this. You've explained this.
Well, which meant when you had an illithid, they were Cthulhu mobs. They were like, I very rarely brought them out. And when I did, they were this otherworldly horror that you didn't fight with a sword.
That's what they are in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, so hopefully they got it right. It is my generation's people that made this game, so maybe it was other nerds like me. I'm hoping.
And I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at a stat block of an illithid, like there are certain levels of illithid that are totally manageable. The kind of illithid that you see at first, though, is absolutely not a manageable kind.
Yeah, the spiral ones, the ones that lived in the spiral mazes and shit, like no, those are level 15 plus enemies.
Yeah, but all of them kind of are. The one that you meet has to be like.
You're not supposed to be throwing your low levels against illithid. Like, and also nobody knew they were illithid until the 90s.
Welcome back.
Before that,
Hey,
they were just mind flayers. Yeah.
My favorite is if you roll on, I can't remember which book. It's not the DMG, but the next one that has like the enhanced random encounters. If you
It's the
roll
psionics
a
that makes them
1
terrible.
for the level 1 to 4 range Underdark, you get an Illithid Arcanist. So they're saying if you roll a 1 at level 1 going into the Underdark, maybe the DM will let you try to sneak by, but otherwise it's like, total party wipe or worse. You're all getting the worm.
Well, if you don't have
can be
any old
objective
rules in
about it, Omar.
8082,
Just click those links.
yeah, I saw them. I clicked on the first one. All I'm saying, though, and I'm going to click on the other two that you guys
There are
see now.
links.
Yeah, he put three mind player links in here.
Right.
In the olden,
In the chat.
anyway, back when I made my decision, which may have changed since then, they use psionics. And if you didn't have any levels in psionics, you couldn't combat psionics. They were just OP. They just had.
They don't work that way anymore.
Yeah, that was
So,
first edition.
second.
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 Oh, really?
Second.
Okay,
There weren't.
okay.
Yeah,
There
the reason
weren't
I never
psionics
used
in the first edition.
correct.
Oh.
They were added, yeah. And the reason I cut psionics out completely and just I would make up magic. Like if you ran into them, they used regular magic rules because psionics were bullshit. Because if your player characters didn't take psionics, then they were absolutely subject. Like they had no
literally
defense.
have a
And
standard
if your
attack.
players did take psionics, they had the
Extracting
same
their
problem. They they had the same problem. They had psionic attacks, and one of which was disintegrate. Literally disintegrate.
I mean,
It's
you,
like, come
you
on.
see the Illithid do that in the tutorial.
Yeah.
Come on. If you can't roll any
Oh,
defense
God.
against it and they have disintegrate, what the fuck are you supposed to do? It's not even fun.
You play Temple of Elemental Evil, you're fine.
Yes, I did. On hardcore. Yeah, that's a
Literally
different
fucking-
bone, man. It's a different bone.
What are you talking about? It's the same fucking bone. Look at these stat blocks. This is like, I don't know. A Mind Flare by itself is worse,
It's supposed
I
to be
guess,
fucking
than
terrifying.
one. No, it is terrifying. One Mind Flare by itself is scary, but it is just as scary as 4 Displacer Beasts.
If you,
Also,
as a level
Displacer
1
Beasts are
character,
also multiplanar.
Dude, Temple of Elemental Evil starts off with like 4 Displacer Beasts as the first.
yeah, it does. That's like literally the first encounter. Yeah.
4 of them.
You
One Mind Flare.
Against
If
fucking
you kill
multiplaners. Come on.
one Mind Flare at level 1, just some random confluence of events, you managed to pull it off. You would exit that fight at level 4.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the XP boost, just the pure mechanical XP boost.
Correct.
Yeah.
You would even have 200 more XP to contribute to your march to level 5.
It's fucking ridiculous.
That's not
Bad
even, like,
DM. Bad DM. What you
Scion
doing,
or-
DM?
No, that's the bottom of the barrel Mind Flare.
That's
That's
what
the
I'm
ones
saying.
that are dead in the hallway in the tutorial.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. It's because yes. All right.
Because
Look,
they're being
I will
attacked
admit
by
that it's
arch
me.
demons and devils when
Yep.
you escape.
But also, people right now are being like, "What do you mean? There's no DLC and I can't get past level 12 or bar?" And it's like,
What?
yes, because at that point you just take the character
Yeah.
sheet away. Like you just don't understand D&D, kids. There's no end game. What? Also,
It's
you're a
bullshit though
demigod
that
at that
they're like,
point.
we're
Come
not
on.
going to do any DLC because we don't want you to get past level 12. No, you're not going to do any DLC because you're a small fucking company and you can't afford it.
Actually,
Just admit it.
yes and no. They could do all up to
Past
level
level
12 they
12?
wanted. It's just level 25. Like you don't need a player character
Yeah, it's
in
level
80
20
and
at
up.
5e. I was wrong, by the way.
Yeah, and you don't need anything bigger than that. And even at that size, come on, why
No,
bother?
I have no issue with them putting the cap at level 12. I'm saying using that as an excuse for why there's no DLC is straight up bullshit.
Oh, I'm just seeing people complain about it. I'm seeing actual Reddit threads.
What?
Yeah,
And it's like, you
there's
just
people that
don't
want
understand
more storyline
AD&D,
and they're
man.
wanting a higher level cap.
And they're like, why can't
Yeah,
I just
I don't
grind to a higher
care about
level?
the
I
level
can just
cap.
grind to a higher level, right? I mean,
My point
right?
there, in fact, is explicitly that fucking D&D isn't about what fucking level you are. It's about the adventure. You can
This is
spin
what I've
adventures
said.
for any level. It's not an excuse to not do DLC.
I agree with that 100%.
That's fair. I personally am annoyed at the cap at level 12 because there are certain abilities later on in a number of the classes I would like to see playable in a game setting.
Right, but
Sure,
what's
I
the
can get
adventure I
that.
write for you where you use that?
Depends on the adventure, right? Like, or what
Yeah.
you're using. For Oath of Ancients Paladin, I suppose you would have to like fight Fey Lords or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. You're getting there. And how far do you take that? I mean, do I just give you Raceland challenges of God?
if you were playing wizards at level past
25.
15,
That's 25, right?
It's 20. It's 20. Like I said,
Fair. Okay, well, no, AD&D stops at, I thought 25.
AD&D stops at 25. D&D 5th edition stops at 20.
Got you. Okay, fair enough. I
I thought AD&D was only 25 for humans, and everyone else stopped at
Possible.
That may be true. It's been a long time.
I've even played an L20 adventure. It was not Elemental Evil. It was the other fucking one. What's the other one? You know the one I mean, you guys. Someone here knows the one I mean.
I'm drawing a
The one that starts with the obsidian room that's all carven in leaves and snakes, and you have to find the snakes, and you pull the snake heads up, and there's 4 different ways you can go down. And it's worse than Temple of Elemental Evil. It's Tomb of Horrors. It's Tomb of Horrors.
There you go. Tomb of
Horrors. I ran a Tomb of Horrors where everyone was allowed to roll L20 characters because it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, Tomb of Horrors is a meat grinder.
Yeah, my L20 barbarian managed to not die on the glyph of warding he triggered going down one of the ladders because he was L20 and managed to save.
I was going to say resisted it. Yeah.
Yeah, and only because he was a barbarian, so he could be like, me no understand magic.
Oh,
right. Magic no hurt me.
Right. What funny words.
All right. So, by the way, as she says that you should rest, you actually hear almost preternaturally the sound of 2 doors opening in the hallway that you came through.
Great. I finished my second mead, I assume.
Yep. Indeed.
Was it at least tasty, or is it just Chaucer mead?
It's the same mead.
Disgusting.
Yeah, god damn it, you guys. That's what I say when I finish it too. I shut it down. I just look at her, look over at them, and go, "God damn it, you guys!"
You know what? You know what you're getting yourself into after the first one.
you see, that's the thing.
I don't suppose they have Tylenol in this world, right?
Doug, you
Nope.
should have done like I did, and you make like a mixture with it.
Doesn't work for me. I think the headache is psychosomatic.
Ma'am, do you guys make tea? Just tea.
Yeah,
She did offer you an herbal tea earlier. Yep.
I'll take that to bed.
It's not a tea, it's a Tazon. Unless the plant's called tea, it's not tea.
I think that's a earth rule.
Oh. I'm putting my foot down here.
Earth rules are easy.
It's like they're girls.
I mean, I'm glad you both got that joke.
He's just being
So
silly,
I've heard,
by the
yeah.
way. A Tazon is a thing that's used to electrically knock people like a lightning stone.
Only in a very delicate manner.
Very it's a shocking grasp. Yeah. It's a Tazon. No, it's a shocking grasp.
Oh, you can catch my Tazon!
She reaches under the bar and she produces a small black iron kettle that is apparently warm and steaming.
Awesome.
She
This
reaches
is
back
awesome.
under the bar and produces 2 clay mugs.
Give me one
She
too,
says,
please.
"Feel free to take those back to your room." Yeah.
Yes.
This
Rock
is
and roll.
amazing.
Isn't it all
Is
suspicious at all,
everything
you guys, at all?
just stored underneath the counter perfectly every single time when you need it?
She
Very
smiled and she
magical.
says something like that. Yeah.
Do you have yogurt?
Are we tither or yawn right now?
We're Heather,
Actually.
sir.
Oh, we're
A,
hither.
B, that is amazing. You could have the best portable restaurant anywhere.
I mean,
I can only imagine what
it
this
has
place is like
legs.
in its heyday.
This place has
She
legs.
actually, that's funny. She actually nods over to the door that you're kind of standing by, Phalian, and she says, I mean, there is a kitchen. It's just the bar is connected. I reach through the bar. I get what I need from the kitchen. But if it's not in the kitchen, it's not under the bar.
I see.
Oh, it's like a shared vault space between inventories.
Okay, though, the real question here is, in a pinch, could you climb through that and wind up in the kitchen?
She thinks about it for a second, and she says, I suppose I've never tried that.
I'm just saying that would be a really cool scene in like a movie. Like if everybody butts in the scene, there's a big fight in the dining room, and you, the clever girl that you are, you just duck through, and then you're in the kitchen, warning your friends.
He says, the shelves are a bit narrow. I'd worry about getting stuck.
I see.
Also, I can see
My
our
hips are
proprietor
pretty
here
wide.
being,
Terrible. Terrible.
I could absolutely see our proprietress here wielding some skills and settling the bar fight where it wouldn't even be a problem.
That was just more.
I doubt she'd be put in charge of this place and given such a grand partner if she couldn't.
I mean, yeah, you could get your nose out of her butt. I was just making a joke about the little teleporter. I thought it was cool.
Sounds like we have other guests here too.
And she says, well, people come and go. The inn stops at the end of the road now and again.
How to eat pizza?
Well, I thank you for the tea. I'm going to retire for the evening. Thank you kindly.
Indeed. Good luck with your quest.
We have quite the arduous journey for it.
Y'all! And I turn to the people who are still here. Y'all need anything delivered or protected? We're headed up north. Come see the Dole crew. We're at service for you. Maybe a small price or something like that.
Yeah, no one
See you
really
in the morning.
reacts.
Well, they'll know. They'll know where we are.
Looks like this is a two-person bedroom places.
Perfect for the four of us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's another door in the hall that is open.
Right. What I'm saying is there's two people per room.
Don't split the party.
That's
Well, I mean, sometimes
what
you
it
have
is.
to.
2 people per room.
Yeah,
You're
sometimes in
splitting the
rooms,
party.
if they're rooms, sometimes you have to.
So you're splitting the party.
Yep, he's splitting the party. That's right.
That's it. It's 2% that I can't hear the siren skip page.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in Fantasy Grounds. I'm not going to lie.
Me too. You could fit 4 people in here.
I don't understand. I can see it on my screen. I have it all the way turned up in the volume controls. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Is your browser maybe turned down in your Windows mixer?
No, that's not my Windows mixer.
Yeah, you right click on the speaker and go to volume mixer.
No, that's what I mean. I've already gone and checked all that shit out. And
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just not being awesome. It worked last time, so I was kind of surprised it didn't work this time.
I know. Yeah, all my shit's turned up.
How are we gonna know who's on watch?
That's entirely up to you folks. Likewise, how long you want to rest here, and whether you're going to sleep or not sleep, or
Well, I mean,
drink your tea or not drink your tea, or
we only kind of figured out like only kind of stuff. The rest of everything was useless. I figured I feel kind of like maybe not. No, who is that guy? Not Jason from the Argonauts, but the other guy, the Odyssey guy. I feel like Odysseus. I feel like we shouldn't stay here longer than we need to.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
plan on sleeping here for about 8 hours to get a
Okay.
long rest.
Okay.
I do
like
not
the
plan
long
on
rest idea.
staying watch because we have done the deeds of 3. Therefore, she is honor bound, as is this place, to take care of us. So I'm going to relax. I'm going to drink my tea.
No, I'm gonna have some of that tea too. I guess
Oh, yeah.
maybe. Perhaps.
Also, I'd like to
no.
meditate and try to
No tea.
reconnect with my goddess.
I'm not gonna have any tea. Actually,
Yeah, tea
I
sounds
will.
good.
I will not.
I have tea for sure.
It's
So,
it's leaf soup.
so you're just gonna like meditate here and leave me just walking back and forth, being a nervous wreck for a little while. I'm gonna have to be here on watch until you go to sleep.
You can sleep. You can meditate yourself, my man.
I mean, you could close the door.
I don't know. I think, well, how then will I know when they're asleep and or awake to take up watch? We've split the party.
I mean, that's up to you, I suppose.
They closed the door. I guess the door's closed.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't exactly sleep anyway. It's just every once in a while I like zone out for
For about 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. It's like super involuntary. I've tried to like not do it.
I got a question. Do all 3 parts of you zone out at the same time, or could like one of you zone out and the other 2 not, and you just like cycle through?
That's gonna be a new strategy for tonight, I suppose.
It's an interesting situation because since you have 3 inside of you, that means you technically have 3 different drivers you could pass the wheel to and have different interactions.
Yeah, and I guess like I'm dead, so I don't exactly need to like turn on my brain or anything. It's not like it's a dolphin scenario where I'm like turning off half of my brain or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I'll burn out if it works. Oh,
Well, as
crap.
long as you're cycling through all 3 of them, it should be fine.
There's something I wanted to ask Sue. Just as a thing for her hospitality. There's something I need to do.
But you gotta
Just give me give me one
do that
second.
again.
Yeah, I'll be right back, Watts.
Okie dokie.
I was definitely
I'll
raised in a barn.
Go about trying to meditate and reconnect with all the things that I need to be connected with.
Hey,
Can you make a religion check for me?
That's worse than last time, damn you. Where was my good roll from earlier? I hate you.
Okay, well, let's. I'll resolve Verde's question first because it's probably faster. But I'll get back to you in a second.
okay.
Yep.
What is your question for the innkeep, sir?
It's not exactly a question. Well, it is a question, but it's also a statement too. So I know that you said that for our quests and our deeds that we're not exactly being charged for rest and room and food, but I came upon ownership of an item that I think was used for ill, and I'd like to kind of reverse that. And I would like to also offer you something or an opportunity as well, still as sort of a gift or payment for the hospitality. This gourd here that I have, and I whip it out, allows me to store memories and maybe even partake of them at some times. But it was being used for perhaps extortive means. I would have it to take up, or at least have the opportunity to take up the memories that people would least like to remember, their hardest moments, their saddest moments, or the moments that they desire the least, or at least one of those moments. Sue, if you had any of those moments, you have every right to put that in this gourd if you wanted to. And I hold it out to her.
She takes it in her hand for a moment. She turns it back and forth, looks at the stopper in the top.
All you
She
need to
says-
do is throw up that moment that you do not want into the gourd.
Yep. And she says, thing that Longscarf never understood, that none of them really understood, as she hands it back to you, is that it doesn't matter if you take the best or the worst. What's left is lesser.
That's wise. I respect that absolutely. I feel as if maybe reversing the coin, as it were, might bring balance to this object.
She nods and she says, that's noble. I couldn't tell you either way if that's the right order of things, but I understand the impulse.
But I respect your choice. It is your temple, and you make the same choice I would. Though I might partake of the bottle myself, because if what is left is lesser put into the gourd, then what comes out makes one more.
I see the logic in that, she says. I don't know that I would take that which wasn't given willingly.
That
But I
actually is-
suppose these days the word willingly can be interpreted different ways.
That's actually a good thought. I didn't think about that. Well, I hope you have a good night.
You as well. May you find peace in the end.
Thank you. I probably, actually, real life Verity would probably say cheers right before he closed the door. Wow, thanks for being backwards.
Oh yeah, dude, that fucks with me all the time. Talk about the door.
Yeah, I'm all like, it says open. Okay, I need to click it to open it. Now it says close. No, it's a label. It's labeling it
Yep.
open or close.
Yep, it should say open door, closed door, or it should change the fucking icon to show an open door or a closed door.
Or do a red versus
They
a
do like a weird
blue.
UX. We've been over this, bro.
Absolutely. All right, I walk back.
Totally. But yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
All right, so it's
Okay.
a long rest. I wanna play with my dreams a little bit. Are there memories in the memory gourd?
There
Lots of
are.
them.
It is at least probably you'd guess 2/3 full, just judging from its weight.
Yeah, I'm gonna partake of a memory right before I go to bed.
Nice.
Okay, 1 second. Lots.
Yes.
You meditate. You clear your mind. You focus on your connection to the divine, and something strange happens. Actually, there is a moment where the landscape of your mind's eye changes markedly. You almost imagine yourself, as if you were looking down upon yourself as you meditate, and the surroundings of your body change from that of the inn to that of a dank, dark ruin, dark, crumbling stone and spider webs. In that moment, you see yourself wearing ribbons of white and gold wrapped around your fists. There's a moment as if something divine is going to speak to you, something dark and shadowy, something that you're not used to as Watson. And then the moment fades and you find yourself once again looking as you were where you were.
Interesting.
Creepy.
Definitely. Very. I'd like to think of a way to query the system to see if there's a way to boost its strength of connection between its core system and us in this remote system.
I gotcha. Hold on just a second. I think that might be very difficult to do in your current circumstances. However, let's start with let's go with an intelligence check, just straight intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. So you do your best to, in your mind's eye, summon an interface window or open a command prompt. Otherwise, try to interact with the system as a system. And it doesn't seem like it works, but for a moment, there is I guess you'd call it an indicator icon that appears in the corner of your vision. It's a line art, like a vector graphic of a poofy cloud separated by a lightning bolt.
Hilarious.
It fades after your attention wanders away from it.
Insufficient power? Really? Well, I mean, that would make sense since we're just far away from its normal server.
You got to proselytize.
Is there a way to boost your energy levels this side to get a strong enough signal to reconnect to the main servers?
You have no way of knowing.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Verde, roll 1d100 for me.
Why did that do it that way? Okay, here. Oh. Stop that. Why? Oh, what? Give me a second. Here you go. I did it. I just did it. I rolled a 100.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice roll, by the way. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, you slip into sleep as the memory takes you. You find yourself standing about shin deep in deep black mud. All around you is deep black mud. There is a sound of bubbling through thick, viscous liquid. Around you, the air is sort of hazy and green. There's an almost acrid feeling to the air. It almost burns your nostrils as you inhale. Speaking of which, you realize as you look down at your nose that it's farther away from your face than you would expect, and kind of pink. You look down and you realize that you are in fact a white-furred, pink-nosed albino rabbit.
Oh, neat.
Nice.
And you realize as you go, oh wow, and then you think, wait, but I've always been that. You look up in the sky, and in the sky you see a flying creature, a bird, but a massive bird. Its wings must be easily 3 carriages wide. Its feathers are silver and white, almost like mother of pearl, and they reflect a brilliantly blue, sparkling sun. The image is beautiful, the sort of thing that you would see maybe once in a lifetime, and in your chest, you feel a sort of rising joy. And as it begins to hit what you would imagine to be like a crescendo, a body-wide gasm of joy, the image becomes obscured by more and more fog until eventually everything is white and the dream fades away. Jory and Phelan, do you want to do anything before you go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm going to try to hack the interface here. And I've been thinking it might be useful to switch out guidance because Watts has been doing it as well, and also legitimately half the time we forget about it anyway. And I want to.
I
What's
Focus.
I haven't been casting guidance.
Don't you have guidance?
No,
I thought you had guidance.
no.
Oh,
Should I have guidance?
no, I thought you did.
you can, I think, prepare guidance. Maybe you can't yet, actually, based on
Oh
your
no,
levels.
I
don't
have.
remember how clerics
I
work.
have guidance prepared. I was thinking of maybe swapping it for something else. But I guess if
Yeah, I
Watts
was talking
doesn't
about
have
Watts.
it, I
Right.
could probably hold on to it.
Yeah, I don't have guidance at all. I have guiding bolt. There might be something
you
that if
avoided
for
by-
my cleric's cantrips, I can only change those when I level as a cleric, if I remember right.
Right.
Okay. Well, now that we've got our no scorch fancy ruby lanterns that we all got set up, I realized I never changed out that spell, so I swapped that with heat metal. So, no, it would be swapping produce flame with magic stone and trying to basically like hack the interface to force that through out of turn.
Gotcha. Well, I think that for the purposes of what you intend to try, we could probably do that with starting with an intelligence check to see if you can summon an interface at all, and then from there we could probably use your greater sage ability.
Okay, so let's
Do you want
start.
to throw me an intelligence check?
Yeah, it's a double click on this.
Nice.
Greater sage.
Yeah. So
Summons your
Oh, that
grandma.
was a save.
I'm jelly
but
over here.
it'd be 18, not 20. But whatever, 18.
I'm still jelly over here.
why would it be an 18?
Because I clicked the
Oh,
save
because you
by
did a
accident.
save. I see it now. Yep, I see it now. 18 is still a great roll, though. I mean,
Yeah, I'll take it.
yeah. So it takes a good deal of effort, but you do manage to summon an interface that kind of shows you a button panel, almost like the hotbar of an MMO. But not the fixed straight hotbar of like a unmodded WoW, but like one where you can drag and drop or widen the window to change its arrangement of its grid of button slots. Looks like you're looking at a 4x5, so 20 slots. Most of them are empty. But there is one that shows you an icon of a spell book.
All right.
There's another one that shows you like a backpack. Like it looks like they're open inventory, open spell book, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so then I would try to open the spell book if I can.
All right. Yeah, you do manage to open the spell book. There is a substantial lag of a few minutes as the UI populates itself with the spells that you have.
I
And the
wouldn't
spells that you
touch
have
anything.
prepared.
I would just sit and wait very patiently until it looks like it stopped moving, stopped loading for a moment. And
Yeah.
like, everything's popular.
That is right. I get you. Sure. It takes a little while, but it does ultimately load. There is a checkbox next to each spell. The ones that you have prepared are checked. The ones that you don't are not.
Okay. I'm gonna
Does it show the spells that
try.
he doesn't know?
No.
Into the main frame. Give yourself Death Touch. Give yourself Cloud Kill.
You
Power
said
Power
the
kill
ones
is
that
really
I can't, that I don't know, as in they're outside of the druid spells. I don't see those.
Correct.
Okay. So then I'm gonna try dragging the icon from the magic stone from the spell book and just dropping it straight over on top of the control flames on the hotbar.
Okay. Arcana check.
All right.
Combine the magic.
Oh, like we
That was my
need
favorite thing
to
about tyranny.
just
Bang!
sit back
Oh, nice.
and see the rolls do their thing for me.
Yeah, apparently so. You drag the icons. There is a moment where the screen blanks. It lasts a little bit longer than you're comfortable with, maybe even like more than a full second. But eventually the screen comes back and your spells are swapped out.
All right. I'm gonna go back a step in the inventory, or is the wheel still open or whatever to look at the other things?
Yeah, the button box, it's still open.
Okay, I'm gonna click the inventory.
Okay. It likewise takes quite a while to load, but it does load a line for every item in your inventory if you
Okay.
wait.
I will probably have closed the spells interface before doing this.
Okay.
Knowing
Yeah, no
that
problem.
it's gonna take a lot on the system.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the
Sure.
scimitar
Almost.
and see if I can edit the name of it. Or if not the name, then the ID label for it.
Yeah. So if you click on the scimitar, it does open a little box that lists some stats. Basically, what you as a player in Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds would see if you clicked on a scimitar,
Okay.
So you could see that it's a 1d6 slashing finesse light weapon that weighs 3 pounds and is worth 25 gold.
Okay. I
Name it.
let me bring it up here, so I'm absolutely sure of what I'm about to say. Scimitar.
Re-ID it as a Holy Avenger scimitar.
I'm gonna see if I can press the lock in the upper right.
Okay. It doesn't seem to work.
Oh,
In the bonus box, I'm gonna put in a 3.
Arcana check.
Nice.
You know what? Let me use my inspiration to see if I can. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
all
so I
right.
wouldn't if I were you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stat seems to change to add a +3 bonus.
All right.
What the fuck?
So we now have the +3 scimitar? Am I hearing this right?
All right.
Well-
Well, while I'm still in the interface, then looking at the items because the inventory is still open. I'm going to look at the leather armor.
Okay.
And again, in the bonus box, I'm going to try putting in a +3. Or just the number
All
3.
Right, roll Arcana for me.
All right. All right. This is the one that's going to need the inspiration.
All right, go for it. Nice. Unfortunately, that does not seem to do anything. The box is not interactive.
Is this the item that was made by the twins in the fair?
No, it's
No.
just standard leather armor.
Okay.
That's fine. This at least gets me in the right direction. Okay. I'm going to close the interface in a way to try to make sure everything saves properly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, like, for example, you close the scimitar window and then reopen it to see if it committed.
Yeah.
You will see that it did, in fact, commit your change. So,
All right. I'm just gonna keep that tonight. I'm just pressing buttons in the interface. I guess does Jory see any of this going on, or?
I mean, I can't tell what you're actually doing.
no, it's Star Citizen rules. Like, if he summons an interface, you can see it.
Okay, so then you probably just, unless you were paying attention, I don't know if you actually saw what I did.
Oh, no, I remember this. We can see it, but nobody else can.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
there are HUD elements which you only see personally, but there are interface elements which you can all see.
He's also across from me, so it would be backwards, and I would have had to have been paying attention.
Right.
I mean, you're too meat in.
But it's sword art online rules, you know?
You're two meads in. But only for us players, right? Us heroes.
Correct.
And maybe the Demon Lord. Spoilers.
All right.
You know, I kind of want them
Maybe.
to do a soft reboot for Dot Hack.
I really liked the original, but I haven't really been paying much attention to it since.
Wait, they did a reboot? They actually did? Or did you say I wish they did?
No, but I mean, what would you play?
I wish
No,
they
he
did.
said he wished they did. Yeah, they haven't done a reboot, but they have done like 3 or 4
There were 4
spin-offs, you know?
You know, the next time someone does the next time someone does a dot hack or a sword art online, they need to do the thing that Defiance was supposed to do, and they need to do it right. Where the things in the actual show and series that they do correlate with things actually going on in the game. You've got parts of the episodes baked, but you've got parts of things where it definitely interfaces with the actual game, and like the likeness of your game characters up-resed for the cinematics. That was 100%
the plan back in the original, but
Yeah, I
Hollywood
know.
works on very different cycles.
Yeah,
want
and
an
so that's
anime
why
show
I'm saying to do it the
about
right
purple
way
face
and not the
wizards.
Hollywood
Sure.
way, because we don't need Hollywood
All-
anymore. We have people who can
All I'm
use
saying is I
UE5 to
know
make
those
films.
guys. Like I know I don't like I don't like know those guys. Like I remember that idea.
They're all
I
even
know
on
those.
strike right now. It's like we can't even use Hollywood because
I mean,
we'll be
game
crossing the
side-
picket
game
line.
side dudes.
Yeah. You're actually,
Game side dudes. I mean,
I'm
I,
happy to tell it.
I say we've worked with those
We-
guys.
we were
Some
there.
people might even still do. Yeah,
yeah. I know those.
like those guys are still in the
I know
industry.
those
Yeah.
guys is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't go to them.
Know them personally.
Just, do the
I thought it was a
the
rad
ones-
idea. It just turns out Hollywood doesn't work in the same way as games, and the interface between, I think it was Warner Brothers? Was it Warner Bros? But
No, it's Comcast.
was it Comcast?
Yeah, well, Universal, but yes, Comcast.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember is it turns out that the cycles that games work on are known. They're what I know, and the cycles that TV works on are faster and lots of well, we can't do that. We're going to do this. We can sub this out. We're just going to use this then. In ways that if you were making a game was really hard to just be like, whoa, we can't just sub out this whole other set. We would have to build that set, or
Right.
there were a lot of
we
last-minute.
have to shoot this 6 months before it happens, so we can't change the outcome. That's absurd.
Right.
Yeah,
Just in general, yeah, exactly. Things like the way that Hollywood makes a TV show, especially one that's shot half in Canada, etc.
Especially 13 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. Just we're at odds with the way that a studio made an MMO, and it didn't play out,
Yeah, like candidly, they were technically I don't mean that.
I wasn't on the team.
Technically unable to accommodate the dynamic nature.
Yeah, I'm not even speaking as an expert that was on the team or anything like that.
No, likewise. I was just leadership in the company that game was produced at, so
Right.
I did know about some of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just know a lot of the people that were involved. I've heard a lot of stories. I was busy working on Rift.
The way they originally talked about it and what actually happened in the end were two vastly different things, but that's because of issues that arose.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really cool idea. Even like City of Heroes, to change just to shift the focus so that we're not talking shit on just one group or one game, but like City of Heroes had, they were supposed to have the comic book tie-in, and once a month we're supposed to do a comic book that was about the City of Heroes story, but also featured like 4 of the main, the highest ranking player characters, and we're supposed to throw them in, and they did that for 2 issues, 2 episodes or some shit.
Yeah, it's like somewhere like that.
This is a lot of work, and
next to nothing.
that right out.
Yeah.
Didn't they also get mired with like lawsuits and stuff by that point?
I have no idea. I did not do any work on that game. I just shared a booth with them at E3 because they were.
Oh, right. I was gonna say we shared a publisher. That was the only thing we had in common with them. Yeah. But we did share a publisher. They were in CSoft just like we were. Yeah.
Did you get my message, Snipe?
I did. That's not a thing you know how to do.
Okay.
Like that attempt might hurt you if it goes wrong.
So, okay.
I don't know why my spells aren't showing up. Maybe I don't have the books loaded.
Let me look at your character sheet. Because I do have the shit loaded, so if they look good to me.
So
so you must not have them loaded.
Yeah, I can't swap produce.
Let me see if I can do that for you. Do you have produce flame at all? Let me switch you to standard mode. So let me switch you to preparation mode. Yep, it's not there. Let me see.
It would just be under the spells tab on the right, but I'm not seeing anything really showing up. There's like a very small smattering. The
Okay, wow. Well, I just brain farted. What are we looking for again? What's the name of the spell?
Fire
Magic-
create.
magic stone.
Magic Stone.
Nope.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like I don't actually have all the modules. I only have
Yeah.
supplement for Wilda. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's why I don't have no. It doesn't have Sirency appears at the load.
Yeah, Magic Stone is in Tasha's or Xanathar's, it looks like. Here, I'll give you the one from Tasha's.
Tasha's Guide.
Oh, wait, I'm not going to do. Oh, no, let's stop. Oh, my God. Stupid interface. God damn it. I almost made like 5 copies of that spell by accident there.
Nice. What you get for fucking with the interface?
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that one doesn't tell me
Interface.
what
fucker.
level it is or anything.
That's a
Oh,
cantrip.
it's because it's a cantrip. Yeah, never mind. Oh, I don't know why my cantrip won't tell me what level it is. There you go. And then you wanted me to get rid of guidance,
Produce flame.
or was it produce flame? Yeah.
Watts knows how to make fire.
There you go. I don't know if
Okay.
you can access the spell, but it's there now.
Okay, you said I would hurt myself if I try to interact the way
I
that I'm
said
talking
you-
about.
Could hurt yourself.
They hurt you. Just like if you.
I am not
strain too
saying
hard
that you
on the
can't
toilet.
try to be explicit. I'm just warning you that the outcome might be dangerous.
Oh, what's worse that could happen? I die?
I mean, if you strain too hard in the toilet, you can die.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis died that way, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, also maybe the barbiturates help, but
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a number of things that contributed to Elvis's.
overweight, alcohol, and barbiturates, straining on the toilet.
Remember
Just like
it was
something
actually he did a line of Coke.
Oh, damn. I just
would do
know he was into barbiturates, so yeah, so
I'm just saying, you get your heart pumping really bad. If you got thick veins and then you fucking push a little too hard, something's gonna pop.
Yep.
Hmm.
In his case, it was his heart.
And then his butt.
Yeah.
You know, when everything released.
Hey, at least
Right.
he was already in the right place to where it didn't make a mess.
Dude,
So that could
You
actually
know,
be a lot worse.
I mean, like, I know people joke about like the king dying on the throne, but I mean, what a great way to not be messy.
Right,
Exactly.
somebody just has to flush, right?
Yeah.
Fucking grim.
Like,
And also, it would be
seriously.
great for the autopsy because they'll be able to
Kingly.
just have the still samples right there, so they know what's going on.
Exactly. Just it's really a kingly way to go.
Exactly.
Remind me again, what's the spellcasting modifier? Spellcasting ability modifier. That's just wisdom? Or is that wisdom and proficiency?
It's whatever your stat is.
Not
So
okay.
in your case, it's wisdom, right?
The next thing you want to modify is spell resistance. Because literally nothing gets you that except for being like a noble drow.
No,
Yeah, don't you remember there's 2 different kinds? There's like noble
I
drow.
absolutely know. Yeah, absolutely.
You always go for the noble drow because they have magic resistance and a +4 to their dexterity.
Yeah, fuck. +4 dex is nice.
Yeah. Imagine putting an 18 in your dex and then having a +4.
Right?
That's a juicy AC.
That's how you're dual wielding scimitars fucking doing Drister and shit.
Two-wheeled sausages.
Well, he also has that because of the gauntlets of like giant strength or
Yes.
fucking
Yep,
dexterity or
yep.
something that he uses.
It's giant strength, yeah.
Gauntlets
Shins.
of blood eyes.
No, having gauntlets
Belt
of giant strength, and he only gets to use them because he puts them around his fucking.
He only gets to use them because he has the belt of the Edgelord. Come on, I've read those books.
Well,
No, he doesn't
because
have
they
the
were a
belt of the
giant.
Edgelord.
He
Are you
puts them on
sure?
his legs.
He wishes he had the belt of the Edge.
No, Elric
That's right.
has the
Elric
belt
has
of
the belt of the
Edgelord.
Exactly.
Where's the
Man,
fucking leather
thanks, you
collar
owe
to
me
go
a
with
Coke.
it?
Okay. Is this where we're going to stop for the night, gents?
I mean, we are hitting your time limit, right? So,
Yeah. Unfortunately.
but if you wanted to do the thing, we could try to do the thing first if you wanted to.
Yeah, I kind of want to try to do the thing,
Wow.
but
The thing.
I like things.
well, part of me wants to try to do mending on the scroll to see if that possibly boosts it by focusing energy through my one physical connection to the interface.
Oh, you mean through your character sheet?
Yeah,
Interesting.
since it's
I
an
mean,
actual like physical connector.
Right. That is a thing that you could do. I mean, you could cast the spell mending on your character sheet. I'm not telling you it'll work or not.
I hear a laughter in your voice, sir, that doesn't give me a great deal of support and hope. My other option would be like trying to figure out how to cast, like, say, healing word and that sort of thing at the interface.
Yeah, that's super unlikely to do anything based on how that magic feels to you. That operates on the physical, you know,
Right.
the living, even more specifically. But well, it does sometimes work on the undead too, I guess. But only the good ones.
Isn't that an oxymoron, sir?
That's lifeist.
Yes, well, life begets life. Therefore, if you're not part of the life cycle, you need to get through your death cycle so you can get back to the life cycle. You're part of the cycle. You're just on the other side of the coin right now. Talk to me when you're on back this side.
Right.
Worms in the fourth dimension.
Now just food for wolves.
No, we're all just worms in the fourth dimension. In the fourth dimension, you would kind of be like this weird worm thing from the beginning to the end, all at the same time.
Yeah, your best bet for what you're trying to do here, Watts, would be to go through like the first few steps casting the magic before you get to differentiating a spell. You know what I mean? Like if you think of like there being stages of casting, there's the moment where you gather the mana, the weave, the whatever, the moment where you focus it and clarify your intention, and then the moment where you release it and affect the actual spell. Like your best bet, I would imagine, would be to
Because I'm trying to
gather
throw
the
everything in
energy,
the pot first. Like if I'm
and
like if I'm cooking.
right, and rather than like focusing on a particular spell, focus instead on, you know, your attempts to access the system, I suppose.
It's that system, baby.
But if that doesn't work and there's nowhere for that energy to go,
Okay. The worst thing is I'll take some health damage, but I'm about to do a long rest, so I'll get it back.
I mean, that's reasonable.
Perhaps. Maybe it'll be terrible. Maybe you hurt yourself really bad.
Well, I'll keep the scroll in my hands while I'm doing this, because I technically don't have, believe, hand movements that I need to do for any of my spells. At least the ones I'd be using for this. That way, if any of the energy is still there, I can focus it into the scroll, using it like a pseudo ground situation.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm willing to give it a shot. What do I throw?
Okay. What level of spell slot are you going to use? Let's start there.
I was going with a second. And I got 2 of those, so.
All right. Then let's go for, first of all, expand that spell slot. And then let's roll Arcana.
Okay, Dice, we need to have a conversation. Cooperate.
Hey, nice. Can you roll 1d100? Okay. Okay. So 2 things happen. One, you manage to open a screen in front of you. Luminous blue background, a shade of blue that you recognize actually particularly well because it's Windows B-SOD blue.
God, no. I got the toss.
Oh
Oh, shit. Okay, sorry.
On the screen, it has a white line with black text on it that says signal interrupted ! Beneath that, in light blue text against the blue background, it says connection to core service rules dot rpg dot magic dot religion unavailable.
Fuck. Put F in chat.
You're just too fucking, custom for the server. You're gonna
At
have to
the
use your Google.
same time, there is a surge of magic around you that comes in the form of shadowy tendrils that lash out from under the bed at everyone in the room.
What?
And you both simultaneously take 1d12 damage and gain 1d12 temporary hit points.
What? I'm not
Both
there.
Yeah.
That's Watson YOLO, but still.
Wait, so I just got 12 temp HP and took 12 damage?
You need to roll 1d12 twice, once
Oh.
to see how much damage you took and once to see how many temporary hit points you got.
Does my danger sense come into here? Can I make,
y'all fucking
make
hackers.
a dexterity saving throw for like half damage?
Absolutely. You can take a saving throw to avoid the tendrils entirely.
Fuck yeah. I'll try that. Thank you.
Well, I'd be able to do
But if you
Someone
avoid them,
cast
do you
them or
not
no?
get the bonus?
You cannot avoid them once.
I'm a
Okay.
barbarian. I have spidey senses.
No, I know. But
Gotcha.
I mean, if you avoid them, do you avoid getting the bonus HP?
Oh, yes. I would
Yes.
assume. It's only
that's
temporary
safe.
bonus.
That save is fine,
it?
by the way.
Yes. Yes, it's only, he said temporary HP.
Yep. Okay, so
So-
you gain a net 4 hit points. So you feel all the pain of getting smacked around by these tendrils, but it doesn't actually really hurt. And in fact, maybe you even feel a tiny bit better when it's done. Like a really tough massage.
Oh, I could go for a really good back cracking massage. One of those, like, it gets the good deep tissues, because, yeah.
kind of just jump into the corner, the high corner
Yeah.
of the room, like a spider monkey or something.
Right up. Exactly, doing the spider walk in the corner.
Wall
Totally.
yelling at me, what the hell are you doing?
What
Yeah.
the hell am I doing? The hell was
Yeah.
that?
They fade pretty quickly. Your impression of what happened is that the effort actually worked. The magic made its way to the system, or at least as close as it could get, but was basically sent back. Like a packet was rejected.
On the screen that's sitting in front of me, is there a reconnect or repair option listed?
There are no options. It's just the screen. In fact, as you look at it, it begins to fade away.
So I need to figure out a way to reconnect to the religion.exe because something's forced me to disconnect. That's why I can't actually connect even when I'm at the other plane.
That is a safe assumption.
This causes me a concern. Sorry, by the way, YOLO. I had to do an experiment. We've been on this adventure for a while. We're doing the training montage. We've talked about this. I don't know if I want to put any levels into cleric because I'm afraid if I level up, I'm not going to get any more spells that way.
Well, okay. If you explain it to me the way it seems, right? Lack of power, all this other stuff is perhaps maybe you're looking at it too wrong. Maybe the reason was why the connection isn't dead. It's just spotty, weak, because you need to set up herms, or in technical talk, you need to set up Wi-Fi towers. You need to set up shrines. You need to proselytize, or maybe your god's not about like actual proselytization through like word, but through like food. Perhaps the more herms or shrines that have to do with cooking that you set up around the world, and the more food that you feed people, and then perhaps do a special like song and dance or something, will give you the bandwidth that you need to send your packets.
Wait, actually, since we just had that tendril attack, do you think this could be an outer god like Shoggoth or something that's I am now bound to since I'm all about the food?
All gods are outer gods. I will respect the gods, the spirits, and Buddha, but rely on them not, because if I am some offshoot of their slaves, or a creation of them, or
Right. No,
divinely
but you understand where
inspired,
I'm coming
given
from.
all I need. Yeah, I guess. I don't see why it matters.
Okay,
Whether it presents itself as a squid face of cooking, or whether it presents itself as a busty, opie maiden.
Amazon. Right. No. Okay. Let me put this in a different context. Back home on the internet, if you had the specific address for an item, you could gain access to said location, sending them either email, whatever, packets, whatever, and then they could, in return, know what your location is and send packets back to you for whatever you were requesting, right?
Only if you have the bandwidth.
Right. Right now, I don't have an IP address that I can ping to send packets to get things back from.
You don't have an IP, or your goddess doesn't have an IP?
That is a great question. I don't think the gods have one.
I think perhaps maybe you are an IP. But,
Like
yeah.
I want to say I do have a point of origin because I just had a tentacle go in places that felt kind of nice, but
Not that nice.
Wow.
I'm healthier more now than ever. Trust me, I'm good all night. But this blue screen popped up and said access denied to the religion protocols. So I don't have access to the religion servers.
Yeah,
Therefore-
exactly. You also mentioned something about a cloud sign of not enough power.
I gotta tell you, Watts, I gotta tell you, life bigger. It's bigger than you, and you're not me.
That's funny. But no, I legit.
I'm
think this
twice
is
as you.
This is a bandwidth issue. You need more bandwidth in order to send a packet. I would set up like a secret herm or something to cooking inside this place because it gets a lot of company.
I would just say it sounds
I
like
would
you're losing
not
your religion.
any form of worship here without permission. A, B, I'm not sure what I would set it up to. That's part of the problem.
Well,
Because
I mean,
because of us being rebirthed like we've have, I honestly feel like somebody's edited my character sheet and has changed my deity.
no, they couldn't have exactly like changed it entirely. Probably just something that fit the world. That's honestly the most concerning thing about one of the entities in me. But never mind that. No,
Well, if you think about it,
I think
they don't have anything that's close to what my goddess is.
well, we don't know that actually. Perhaps.
Yeah, we have. We've talked to all the religious people.
No. Give me a
Right.
second. Give me a second. I have a trait right here. What do I need to roll? Let me just think. I might know something. I have to dig through my own memory.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, you might want to try religion or history, I suppose.
Okay. Religion or history. And then what is the other ability that I have? Give me just 1 second. Now, roll a d6, roll a check, equal to proficiency bonus. So that should be like what? 2 is my proficiency bonus right now?
That sounds about right.
Okay. So I'm
Should
gonna
be
roll
on
the-
your character sheet somewhere.
Yeah. I just forgot exactly where it is because I'm dumb. It's right there. It's 2. I found it. It's upper right below inspiration.
Oh, yep, there it is. I see it.
I'm just going to use it in conjunction with my knowledge from a past life thing action and trying to use the unknown entity YOLO, as everybody has been calling this body. Because Miguel is the character who got isekai'd in my backstory,
Right.
Faraday's backstory for YOLO, which is the third entity that he doesn't exactly know anything really about.
Right.
And I mean, Miguel might know something, but I'm just trying to draw from the other past life in order to try to help modify that whole history check there. So I'm gonna roll that. Probably good that I did that.
Certainly better than if you hadn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you realize from your own poking about and research from talking to people at the church and from talking to folks, at the inn in the city where you guys were at in Gallender, you know that there isn't a deity like Watts's deity. Like there is no deity that has any sort of focus on those kinds of concepts, and that in fact, explicitly, the gods of that realm are the gods of things like luck and vengeance and redemption. Like they're sort of like high-minded philosophical ideals, rather than say avatars of particular actions or areas of interest. Or
you're
those
saying
sorts of things.
There's not actually a god or goddess of cupcakes or pies or tarts. I say.
Right. There isn't even a god or goddess of pleasure. You know what I mean? Like they're the like if you were to make an observation about the gods of the other world, all of them seem to have a focus on moral action, but in the vague rather than the specific, rather than anything else.
Well, yeah, actually, continue with whatever knowledge else I get. I do have an idea, though, that might be
Right.
effective.
Yeah, as far as, other planes and other worlds go, there are plenty of variants or varieties of harvest gods and feast gods and gluttony gods, and like you could write a whole pantheon around food if you wanted to. You know that for a fact. So you know that Watts's gods exist, or at least some analog of them do. And you know that from where you are right now, they ought to be accessible.
And as the sporadic glimpses and stuff from my past life, like that's what I know from gathering information.
What you know from gathering information is about the world you came from. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Your glimpses tell you that there should be some sort of god like that accessible from here.
From this realm?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So I'll definitely relay at least that, which might add to your hope. But it also, I still feel like the
gods here have been kicked out, except by the goddess of second chances and her kindred.
No. I think you're taking it different. Oh, the gods here in this place in the fairy realm.
No, not in the fairy realm. The world that actually we became part of the system.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. Now I hear what you're saying. Yeah. So the gods have been quote unquote kicked out, but also they seem to be of these higher minded sort of philosophical, vague kind of things, right? It makes me feel like perhaps they need to proselytize better in order to have, let's say, a stronger effect on the world. And perhaps nobody has really, besides the god of second chances, as we have seen, set up any kind of herm, as I keep on calling them, but or center of worship. Like I feel like you're the IP that you're looking for. Is that your god ought to exist in realms that share connections to other gods, like here in this fairy realm, but in the realm that we have now become native to, that in order to get power or send your packets to get the bandwidth, you need to establish a server, a host, and you are the IP in which you can get the bandwidth in order to establish said host. I don't know. That's
like a small god situation.
Yeah. That's actually exactly what I'm thinking right now. Is that given what I have seen from the people, culture-wise, the only goddess that seems to get attention is the one of second chances and her sister. All these other gods are more philosophical ideas, and that would make sense for a culture that at least was nascent in the religion sense, or at least had maybe a dominating religious culture of only one kind, like the goddess of second chances. Like, I don't exactly know what could rise to make a culture like that, but I still, I'm only seeing one god proselytized, and they're the god that has any kind of weird power on the planet, while the other gods supposedly were kicked out. Quote, quote.
Most likely what happened is the other gods were destroyed when the demons invaded the realm.
Yeah, no, I hear
Can
that.
I have both of you roll insight?
Perhaps, Bubiko destroyed everything herself.
Nice. It occurs to you as you're discussing the various gods that you actually do remember the innkeeper cat dude, Growth, tell you that the other gods had places in the world that were like theirs in the same way that Gallender was Demira's.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes me feel like you need to establish an IP if we're going to think about it that way. Like currently, you are the maybe not sole follower. Perhaps now that you have populated the server and people have eaten your food, word has traveled, or maybe even a feeling has traveled because of that food. But you need a place in order to harvest that bandwidth to then send the packets that you are trying to send to your current goddess, because everything that I have studied points me to the direction that your goddess exists. It's just unable to communicate with you right now because of the server. You need to set up infrastructure. You need to do a little IT, my friend.
Right. Well, I'm wondering, like, okay, maybe I could set up a LAN.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, but my issue is, do we actually have a connection from the LAN to the World Wide Web? Because if I am getting that the religion.exe is crashed, that means potentially the gateway to the World Wide Web is gone.
Guessing
At
it's
least till
just-
Yeah. Or you just don't have significant power. Perhaps this is where the metaphor falls flat. You know what I'm saying? You need a reciprocal to get as much bandwidth as needed in order to then make the connection. There any more substantial connection, because I mean you still have magic. That means the connection is there, at least in
I
the
still have a
most
connection
basic
to the
sense.
core system.
Exactly.
And the core magic.exe seems to be working fine for both me and you.
Yes,
as well
but I mean,
as-
the trigger for your divine powers is given to you in the system by the fact that you have a divine connection. If your divine connection was severed, say, if you broke your oath as a paladin, there are rules for you not having your paladin, or sorry, not having your powers. So, I would believe that there is at least enough faith in your being to keep the core magic system satisfied with the amount of bandwidth that you are sending to your deity. That's my unprofessional opinion.
I'm wondering if I need to start periodically doing this spending of an energy slot of a spell, sending it through the system to see if I can restart the connection.
That's interesting. Like I feel as if this is your religious journey and quest. As I said, I feel like setting up herms and places to stack rocks and maybe hide some meat chunks like a pork chop inside of a wall. Right? I think that might be a good place to start. But you can do
Plant a cupcake at a crossroads. You know?
exactly. But I mean, you could do other things.
Actually, going off the goddess I'm a part of, just me spreading joy is really all she would ask me to do. We are known as the Joy Bringers.
Well, then no temple ought to be required. It does seem like the rules of the current server that we call native or home requires at least a location. It seems to be a little bit biased towards nomadic cultures such as yours.
Right. That's
Perhaps if you were to develop a longer terms kind of thing, like a pilgrimage, but we don't have time for that. We're heroes. The world.
well, we technically have our heroic pilgrimage that we're going through, so
Yes, but you'd have to do it over again. We'd have to go all the way back and make the walk. If you know what I'm saying? Like a pilgrimage.
Right.
Yeah, I think you need to set up sites or a site, reasonably claim it, in every kitchen of the land too. If you can become famous enough and have cooks think of you or be inspired by you, perhaps that might work.
It's got to like open a restaurant, right?
I'm not making a chain restaurant.
No,
Smack
I
Pastry
actually
house, you know,
Right.
I've
a
been
donut
going-
shop. That's the answer.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. A panaderia. A
cupcake
panaderia.
shop. Let's
I've
go
been-
pure confections.
I've been going
I'm
through.
gonna call it muffin tops so that nobody feels bad when they go there.
I've been going through the player sheet, and no, I want I want a vehicle. Perhaps maybe like we can get a cart.
We've got a
Food
canoe.
No, but we don't have like a food truck for Watts's, religious purposes.
I see a carriage with like a magic stove and like a little like opening that you could like sell food through.
Yeah, if we could get the DOP crew of Bardo rather.
Right, totally.
That would be nice, and then that could be your site for, holy endeavors. The Holy Bardo.
Sell tacos.
Holy Taco Bar.
Gentlemen.
So carnitas? Get it right?
Carne
Hell
is
yeah,
my
man.
favorite food in the entire world, man.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
All right, gentlemen. It is very late. I appreciate you all playing, but I think we should pick up again next session.
Hell
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We're in a
All right.
tavern.
I'm down.
Till then, have a good one out there, everybody.
Thanks for Dungeon
Yeah,
Mastering.
Night, everybody.
Love you, mean it, everyone.
Cheers.
Good night out there.